You're the best thing that's said. What's happening here? Well, what are we doing now? Are we about to... Oh my God! The two of us together, father and son, loving each other, bonds of family, stronger than steel, stronger.
I didn't know you could do that without a sword.
Yeah, you can morph with pretty much anything.
You can?
Yeah, you would have known that if you read the manual.
There you have it. Not enough people read the manual.
Right.
You are my star. I could never love somebody else the way I love you, baby. I will die for you, no question. You are my sword. You are my sword. You are my sword. You are my sword. You are my sword.
God damn it. I screwed that up. I just made it. Yeah, I saw I had no sound. I'm like, man, like, damn, that would have been powerful. Yeah, you can't play the Dukes of Hazzard theme. I mean, you'll get hit with a copyright strike. But I was like, oh no, I know what to put in there. Like, so I have to remake that. Yeah, I know you hear me. My thing was when I made the intro in CapCut, in order to have the music, I had to mute the Dukes of Hazzard theme, which come to find out I didn't have to do because I downloaded it without the music. So I forgot to hit the unmute. So everything else didn't pan out. Well, that's what happens when I rush things. And so much was popping today. I swear to God, so much was popping today. Tomorrow, fellas, you know, whether it's now on the replay, we are going to talk, we definitely going to talk about Dusty Negroes as far as the mentality that they exhibit here on social media. Tonight, though, is an open panel, or else we will be out of here within 30 minutes. So there's the link if anybody want to come up. Yeah, that's going to be a big one tomorrow. Tomorrow's open panel is going to be beautiful. So two big things happened today. All right, two big pieces of news. Joy Reid finally getting fired because they cannot afford to keep her. As we all know, shortly after the election, back like in January, CNN, MSNBC, and ABC and other Democratic news media outlets, they had to make cuts. They had to lay people off because Kamala Harris's campaign, you wonder where all that money went. You spent over $1 billion some dollars. It was going towards media, mainly social media and you know, these news outlets. That, trust me, more of that is going to come out. And as you can see, they haven't even finished going through the DOGE cuts. And you see Politico and other media outlets were getting paid through DOGE. All right. So with that said, a lot of money was taken away from all of these networks and news media outlets. And CNN, MSNBC was one of them. So they're still making cuts. Joy Reid happened to get cut. I mean, you're talking about a woman who stupidly said Queen Latifah endorsed Kamala. She never endorses anybody. And of course, everybody, even Rachel Maddow, laughed because they're like, what are you talking about? Like, Is that really your point of view? That's your ideology? That Queen Latifah is going to help win the election? Like, do understand white people see Queen Latifah as somebody who plays like the comedic maid, or, you know, now what that TV show she had where she's supposed to be the equalizer, this 72-year-old overweight black woman with cornrows is supposed to be some hard-nosed detective in black leather. I mean, I don't know, I'm making fun of her age, but you know, still nobody was that pleased. She holds no weight in white society. She doesn't even hold weight in black society, especially with anybody under the age of 50. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and if anybody over the age of 40, or better yet, anybody over the age of 20 is seeing Queen Latifah as some sort of political figure that should be listening to, like, okay. But we'll be covering that tomorrow. But let's get into this. So this is Sky News Australia, and they are talking about Unhinged. Joy Reid brutally roasted following her show's cancellation on MSNBC, and we'll see if they play some of her favorite hits. But let's see what they have to say. I haven't watched this yet, so let's go.
We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy.
You're damn right we mock the cancellation of her show. Yeah, all she did was just cry racism and slam. You know, all this is number wigs. Let's say her show first aired in 2020. Wow, only lasted 4 years, huh? That's like 4 years too long. Oh, they gonna put Simone Sanders in there, and Michael Steele and a couple other nobodies and has-been. In all honesty, you know what I would have done if I was him? I would have put Scott Jennings in her spot. Megyn Kelly said, "Remember when Joy Reid laughingly mocked white women tears as pathetic and offensive to her? Like, who's crying now? Like, exactly. Hope you saved all that money, chick." Anyway, Joy Reid. Oh, this Rita Panahi, the chick who does Lefties Losing It, coming out of Sky News Australia, said, "Genuinely shattered that the uniquely awful Joy Reid has been sacked. She has provided Lefties Losing It with so much content." Yes, she has. "Not only is she a nasty, extreme left race baiter, but she's stupendously stupid. Let's hope The View gives her a role." They might replace her with Sunny. They might replace Sunny hosting with her. That would be funny. Or Elizabeth Ferragamo might do it. Wow. So Matt Wall said, deeply saddened by the passing of Joy Reid's MSNBC show. It was a great resource for right-wing podcasters looking for a clip to play and make fun of. I can't tell you how many slow news days Joy helped me through. I hope she finds somewhere else to spout her inane BS. Okay, sorry. Because I got, this is my screen. This is my webcam. So y'all not looking down at me. So, yeah. Charlie Kirk. Here comes Charlie Kirk. Joy Reid, aka the race lady at MSNBC, just had her show canceled because it was unwatchable. Good riddance to the most vitriolic, lowbrow, and unhinged race hustler ever allowed on national television. Hey, what about Sunny Hostin? I mean, they're both pretty much the same. But again, like I said, I would put God, if I was MSNBC, if I really wanted to shake up and change the narrative at my channel, because do understand they didn't fire her because she race hustles. They fired her because she's not bringing in the numbers anymore. And the only reason why anybody watches that show hosted by Abby Phillips is because of Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is the darling on that show. I would pull him from there, put him in her slot, and have him host his own show where he gets to go at it with Democrats. Instead of them cutting him off every time he goes to answer their question, he'll go ahead, he'll be able to speak and let the Democrats respond. You know, it'll be a more fair and balanced network. And I guarantee you, since that's what they're trying to do, I guarantee you that show would take off. I would watch that show on a regular. If if Scott Jennings had the 7 o'clock slot on MSNBC, I would watch that show. That show would take off, and it wouldn't be mocked and ridiculed. The guests would, but Scott Jennings would get a lot of praise. It would draw, oh my God, the sponsors that would be a part of that show. It would bring in money. But what do I know? I mean, I'm just some black guy in Atlanta in like the coldest room of his house. We brought in. What's up, no news? Ice cream effect in effect. Yeah, you know, hey, come on. I'm going to open panel tonight. Bro, be in and out of here in 30 minutes. But I definitely want to come up because your girl is next. Hearing Bob. You see, everybody is saying the same thing. Joy Reid show has been canceled by MSNBC. Reid show promoted racism and pushed radical left-wing conspiracy theories. The show is unwatchable and the ratings fell off a cliff since Trump was elected. Yeah, I mean, everybody's saying the same thing. Pretty much everybody's saying the same thing. So, I don't know any she even try to compare Joe Biden surviving COVID to Trump surviving an assassination attempt. That's just as ludicrous as Kerry Champion trying to compare military combat to hair pulling in high school over a Felantonio.
These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
Hey, wait. Look how that white woman was looking when she said that. Watch her face. Watch this white chick's face.
It used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same? I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
She always roasting Joy Reid. Yeah, Rita Panahi, if she's not roasting Joy Reid, she's roasting Sonny Holston or AOC. Or Jasmine Crockett, or Ilhan Omar.
Lefties losing it. You know, we are blessed to have networks like MSNBC staffed by certifiable morons and pathological liars because they make my job just so easy. I just have to watch a few minutes and the lefties losing it content flows like the Mississippi in spring. Here is Joy Reid being a hysterical banshee and using words she doesn't seem to understand, like coup.
We begin tonight with a full-on crisis in our democracy.
Really?
Federal workers are literally locked out of their offices while operatives working for a private citizen essentially take over our government. If this were happening in any other country right now, I promise you, I'd be on the air calling it a coup.
And Joy Reid, along with suffering from a severe case of stage 4 TDS, that's Trump derangement syndrome, she's also an election denier. And according to the left, that makes her a threat to democracy.
They're even talking about like stealing an election. And
yeah.
it's making me rethink whether I do believe like election machines can be hacked. Because I've always been like, you can't hack the election machines, but they're like convincing me, I don't know, maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, to me, in this world, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I'm still, I mean, there are all these conspiracy theories out there about Trump and whether or not they cheated. I know you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have
Wait
to
a minute.
say that.
I didn't say they didn't.
I don't.
That was her cousin that she was talking to. And if you're not familiar with, I mean, if this is as far as your Joy Reid information goes, on her TikTok or whatever she does, Instagram or whatever, this chick, I mean, I thought AOC said a lot of dumb, unhinged stuff. She's just as bad. She's just as bad. She's one of those people that was pushing after the election. Don't go to Thanksgiving dinner because your MAGA family might attack you and beat you. And I'm like, what? Like she's really that silly. Sorry, I'll let it play.
No, you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have
Wait a
to
minute.
say
I didn't say they didn't.
I don't know about you, but I'm shaking with fear with this
Resurrect me.
dangerous democracy denial.
Elon Musk, you know, somehow using his tech connections, because I don't want to say genius because we know he's not.
Yeah, he ain't a genius.
But those
He's not a
relationships
genius,
or
but
whatever,
he's
because they
better
just
than you.
seem too confident. It just doesn't add up to me with all the support that she had. And I know that for you, and because of what happened with Fox and because what you do professionally with the network, you can't say it was the machines or something like that. But if you think it was the machines, but you can't say, just don't say anything.
It's weird that you can't say it was the machines, but yeah, Joe Biden got 80 million votes. Obama was probably one of the most popular presidents ever with 2 elections, and the most he got was 68 million votes. How the hell did Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe, get 80 million votes that suddenly came in at the last minute? Mail-ins. Anyway.
See, this is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is
No, I know.
there are many ways to cheat in an election.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
how?
don't ever
We
put
like
it past
you.
Republicans to cheat in elections because they've been busted too many times.
When?
Let's hear now from a couple of women who are likely to be MSNBC viewers. Why do I say that? Because they are uninformed, unhappy, and a little unhinged.
I took my kids to school today and just dropped them off, and I just feel so sad, right? Like, we all knew this was coming, and then I think that yesterday was far worse than any of us could have anticipated. And I took the day off to just kind of protect my peace, and I plugged back in this morning, and it's just so bad.
And here is a lady who is very forthright in her opinions, except when faced with a fairly obvious but inconvenient question.
Stop abuse of power.
Yes.
In what regard?
Well, with everything that's happening in our politics, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Like with Trump?
Yes. It seems that money goes a long way right now with our politicians, and that needs to stop.
So would you say it was an abuse of power how they just like removed Joe Biden out the Democratic primary and installed Kamala Harris?
You know, I don't know that I can comment on it.
But yeah, anyway, Joy's gone. Ding dong. Well, how the song go? Ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the wicked witch is whatever. So let's get on to the biggest story of the day, which I have been calling. I said, like it doesn't make sense. Under the California wildfires. This is why I wanted BGS up here, because he lives in California. These California wildfires. The situation didn't make sense. It seemed like a sloppy conspiracy, and not a conspiracy theory, but a sloppy conspiracy that you had, because they caught people setting fires. They called illegal migrants setting fires across LA. I think 2 of them were busted doing it. You had the PGE towers? You had those towers. One of them was sparking. It looked like they gave Gavin Newsom money to look the other way. As far as the safety regulations, you had Trump who told him, hey, look, bro, you need to, what's up, Jibba? Like, yeah, like we need to clean up. You need to clean up this stuff. Like, dude, this don't look right. Like, you need to sweep the forest. We had him say that. Let me see. Hold on. Here we go.
Cleaned out and protected. Got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem. And when it is, it's a very small problem. So I know everybody's looking at that, to that end, and it's going to work out.
Yeah, so you had Trump telling him that, and of course, Gavin Newsom wanted to fight against it, and then suddenly, we all know the story. The fires broke out. There was no water in the reservoirs. Karen Bass was over in Ghana attending some wedding. She came back. She didn't say anything to the press. But before we get into this story, let's look into Karen Bass's history as far as who she is. Because, as much as people like to slam TikTok, because let's be honest, it is full of garbage. There are some people on there, such as myself, who do journalism, and some people they do some serious investigative journalism. So let's go.
To Karen Bass. Back in the 1970s, community activist Karen Bass went on at least 15 trips to Cuba, many with a group known as the Venceremos Brigade, a Marxist group started by the Castro regime to subvert American interests, weaken democracies, and spread communism around the world.
All right, hold on, BGS. Let's let this play before I bring you in, okay? Before we get to talking, all right? You hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, all right.
Founded in 1969, the Venceremos Brigade organized trips to Cuba every year for half a century. They attracted the most radicalized and delusional segments of the American left, including overtly Maoist and pro-Soviet communist groups. In fact, a Los Angeles police investigator who infiltrated the group testified to Congress saying that to be a member of the brigade, you had to be confirmed as a Marxist-Leninist, as a brigadista, and then moving up the ranks to organizer for the Venceremos Brigade. Karen Bass visited Cuba every 6 months. Their mission? To radicalize young, impressionable American leftists in terrorist tactics and guerrilla warfare. Members of the Venceremos Brigade were even taught how to make bombs.
Jesus Christ!
Karen Bass admits, on her many pilgrimages to Cuba, she went to see Fidel Castro speak several times, even calling him charismatic, and upon his death, praised him, saying, "The passing of Commandant en Jefe is a great loss to the people of Cuba, even though the people of Cuba see him as a dictator who impoverished their island." Another group, the M19, took its belief in revolutionary anti-imperialism to extremes, violent extremes. The M19 was the first and only women-created and women-led domestic terrorist group. Since their founding in 1978, M19's tactics escalated from robbing armored trucks and abetting prison breaks to building their own explosives and carrying out terrorist bombings. From 1983 to 1984, M19 bombed an FBI office, the Israel Aircraft Industries building, the South African consulate in New York, DC's Fort McNair, and Navy Yard, which they bombed twice. But that wasn't enough for them. On the night of November 7, 1983, the M19 called the U.S. Capitol switchboard and warned them to evacuate the building. Minutes later, the M19 bombed the north wing of the U.S. Capitol. November 7, 2023 marks 40 years since the M19's bombing of the U.S. Capitol. Members of the M19, like Susan Rosenberg, traveled to Cuba with and were radicalized by the Vence Ramos Brigade. The South Los Angeles Vence Ramos Brigade was led by Karen Bass, who is now mayor of Los Angeles.
What you think about that?
Horseshit. But it's okay.
Explain your position.
In other words, basically, these are Willie Brown led, George Soros led people. Okay, BLM, the same people that paid for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to get in office are the same people that put Karen Bass in office. BLM and all the other crap who's actually paid for by right and left wing people. Okay, to put people in position. Okay. We talk about communism. We don't talk about the far right that bombed the Murrow building or tried to blow up the fucking tower in New York and all that other kind of bullshit. Okay, that happens, but it has nothing to do with the fires. Okay, we got hell. Your you know what they call the neocons in Washington D.C.
Go ahead.
Trotskyites. They're former communists. The grandfathers were communists, okay? The Trotskyites. And then they became right-wing conservatives during the civil rights movement. Nobody talks about that shit. Right and left wing are not as far apart as people think they are, but I think it's horse shit. Now, I don't know what his point is about Karen Bass being mayor. I mean, there's a lot of left-wing people that are mayor. Hell, Barack Obama and stuff did more left-wing shit than anybody else.
Right. I think his point is that, and I'm sorry if I cut you off. Just let me know because I want to get it all out.
Okay. No, it's okay. But I don't know the question that you want to ask. But that's all this kind of communist stuff is horseshit. Communism really doesn't exist for the most part anymore.
I think what it was, because I understand what you're saying. I mean, I see it as like all of this money, these millions and billions of dollars to the gay operas and trans surgeries and all of this stuff. I mean, personally, I see it as a way to try to weaken the defenses of countries, because I mean, if you take away the men, the women are not going to be sitting up there fighting shooting AR-15s and MP5s, talking about defending the country. You know, they're going to be like Damon Wayans. They shoot it. They shoot it.
Who's coming to attack the United States?
Well, that was the whole point of Trump trying to get the border secure and getting rid of the criminal illegal migrants, because those guys are very, very, very susceptible to taking a payday to cause chaos. I mean,
they're taking those people are taking a payday. They're already taking a payday. It's called drugs. That's what it is.
I'm saying, like, from a foreign power, you can take a payday from. Hey, we'll give you 50 to 100K to shoot up this Capitol building or something like, or to shoot up this mall, something like that. Anything, any type of terrorist act, you can pay criminals to do that from another country, because they don't have a vested interest, and their whole point is chaos, death, and destruction.
Okay. If you know anything about, and Louis can tell you, if you know anything about the United States and the empire and the military empire, anybody that would do some dumb shit like that, they need to have their head examined. Okay, because what's going to rain down upon you is going to be 10 times worse.
Well, that's the whole point of emasculating your military age males, especially starting in school, like grade school, high school. You brainwash them into thinking that it's okay for them to be effeminate, and then when they hit middle school, you have a guidance counselor. I mean, everybody goes through growing pains through puberty, right? So while they're going through growing pains, especially in a the culture that we have now, where we have a lot of cucked men mainly on the white side, some on the black side, and then you have a lot of single parent homes on both sides together. Use that together. So they don't have anybody to look to discuss their teenage growing pains. So you get a guidance counselor who will sit up there and convince them that, well, you were born in the wrong body. And then next thing you know, you've got teenagers who are getting sterilized, be it through surgery or puberty block.
The few people that do it. The thing is, you know who handed over the country to the feminists in the first place, and why they did it?
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, the boomers were the biggest group of men ever born over the past 200 years, right? Okay.
Right, because of the Industrial Revolution.
The Industrial Revolution and the environment and World War II and people coming back and the big baby boom, right? In other words,
you had men's men back then.
Okay, we're not even giving that. The thing is,
well, the last creation,
your birth rate is headed below 1, and then all of a sudden, right after World War II, you had a big spike in people, right? Especially men, right? And if you listen, if you know anything about civilization, read quickly, right? Okay. As far as demographics, basically we have a big boom like that. You have what they call arms-bearing men. Okay, that's like we had this big anti-war protest, civil rights protest, blah blah blah, because men overturn societies, right? Okay,
right.
And guess what? Most societies don't want them to be overturned, especially by their leaders, right? So what do? You have to do what? Depower the men. That's how come we have depowered men. It has nothing to do with a foreign society.
This is
internal.
With foreign society.
No, it doesn't.
Let me explain my position.
Okay. Go, yeah, okay. Where do you get this from? Because I researched this. Where do you get it from?
Okay. Let me explain my position. If you look at all of the countries that are under the crown, all right, that kind of includes us, even though we're not under. They all were suffering through BlackRock and George Soros ideology, where you effeminized the males.
Okay.
You emasculated the females. Okay. You put them in the workforce, so that way they were too busy to raise the children. So therefore, the children were left to their own defenses. Now you're at a point where, let's say, the countries that have the resources that you want to take control of without going to war, and if it ever came to that, they don't have enough men, not males, biological males, but not enough men who will take up arms in order to be able to resist you.
Okay.
This is what they were trying to do here in the United States.
It's bullshit.
Well, then, okay. Well, I do understand. With all of the evidence that's presented, that is exactly what it looks like.
So why are you spending? If that's the case, why are you spending $3 trillion in defense? If that's the case, you could just depower these, just get rid of your military. They can do that.
You say that again?
Why are you spending $3 trillion in the military if that's the case?
To do what exactly?
In other words, this is what we call global economics and global geopolitical stuff, right? Okay. The freaking reason that you have this war going on in Ukraine is to contain China. It's like you spent $20 trillion in wars of the past 25 years to contain China, not to get invaded by them. Okay.
Contain China. China hasn't been mentioned in this whole thing outside of possibly sending troops for Russia as backup.
So in other words, even Trump says nobody's trying to invade the United States. All this stuff is internal. Okay. The thing is, George Soros was not really around doing anything in 1970, 1972 when the feminist agenda actually arose, was he?
We're not talking about the 70s. We're talking about now.
This what you seeing now was planted back in 1972 when it handed over the education system to the females. This is a 50-year-old feminist agenda that supposed to have come to fruition in 2012. Okay, it didn't happen. All this stuff that you see started way back in the 1960s. Okay.
Okay, and where are we sitting now?
Where you're sitting, what you're sitting now is, well, depending on what you're talking about, where you're sitting. Okay, where you're sitting now, as far as male-female relationship, is basically decay. And it's not just happening here; it's happening all over the world. It has nothing to do with any of that stuff. Okay, you see the same shit in Africa, you see the same shit in China, you see the same shit in Korea. The exact same stuff has nothing to do with the crown.
Don't matter. Hey, that's 3 snowman taxes for you.
Has nothing to do with the crown. Okay, I mean, Snowman gets enough money from me, but it's okay.
No, I hear you. No, but what you're looking at, understand how I'm seeing it from my point of view. Because I mean, do understand 2 things can be right. You know,
what I'm saying is, and what I'm saying, I ain't trying to convince you, man, because I spent 30 years studying this stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're not
30 years studying.
Discussing
what I'm saying is, I know exactly what's happening right now. What's happening right now is they're trying to reverse it because all this stuff that they thought was going to work didn't work. Okay. That's what's happening right now. It's because the women were supposed to step up and take the same jobs as the men did, right? But the women biologically do not want to do that crap, so they're stuck. Now they have to reverse all this stuff, right? Because you can always retrain the boys. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, the thing is, what you can't do is retrain the women to start having babies again. What you're having is a depopulation crash right now. That's what's happening, but nobody wants to talk about that. All that other stuff about how you train the boys and all that kind of crap is different. Okay, even though they push it, it's pushed out in front of people. That's just a small percentage of folks. It's not that big.
Okay, so studies have shown that the small percentage of what's up, AB? If you want to come up, the link is there, but I can repost it because we're doing an open panel, but we jump into Karen Boss.
Because we were going to actually came up because you want me to talk about the LA fires, which is another
right. I want to talk about the LA fires,
which is horse shit because I live here and I just talked to my friend. She's a real estate developer out here, right? Okay, she's been complaining about the shit that caused the goddamn fires for the past 10 years. Okay, they had been actually rerouting the money supposed to go into clearing that fucking brush out that caused these goddamn fires and caused these goddamn fires to spread like that. Okay, this shit happens every year.
Said he didn't want to do that.
Huh? Said what?
Gavin Newsom said he didn't want to do that
because they didn't want to reroute the money. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'll tell you this because my friend, okay, she lives in those areas, right? Okay.
Right.
And it took her 6 years, but she finally got to the mayor, and she finally got the governor to actually come out and clear all that brush that caused the fires. Guess what? Guess what her neighborhood is? Nothing happened to her neighborhood. Why? Because they actually did what they're supposed to do.
So they didn't go through the government to clear the fire, to clear the.
She did. She did go to the government to clear the underbrush. She got on Karen Bass because she knows Karen Bass personally. That's probably one of the reasons. Okay, she knows Karen. Okay, she's been knowing Karen Bass since she was 12 years old. Okay. And she got to him, she got to the governor, and they brought the cow works and all these people out to come out and clear the brush. It's because what the thing is, white folks like the shit the way it is. Okay? They want trees touching their houses. They want that wooded look. Okay, they like that stuff, and they want the little animals running around eating the brush. But the thing is, that's the stuff that causes fires if you don't have rain. Okay, if that stuff gets dry and you get a situation like you had in was it January or December, right? Where you have Santa Ana winds that are hot and dry. They come from the desert. Now, normally they come in like 50 miles an hour, right? This time they're 80, 90, okay?
All right.
All it takes is a spark and dry brush, and guess what happened? That thing goes through the whole place like an atomic bomb. That's what happened.
Unless you clear the underbrush.
Unless you clear the underbrush. But the thing is, guess what? You diverted all that money to someplace else. A lot of times, they'll mention about they gave the fire department raises, so they had to cut down on staff. Okay? Which is why this is why Karen Bass fired the LA Fire Department chief, okay? Because a lot of stuff that should have been done, okay, a lot of stuff that was complained about that should have done to prevent it wasn't done. Now, guess what? Now she said now the National Guard's all over the place trying to clear their brush out so it doesn't happen again. They know what happened.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with a freaking conspiracy or attempted. Basically, it's like anything else, right? If you let the stuff fester long enough, sooner or later, guess what? Murphy's Law will show up, and it did.
Well, we're about to find out because there was some shocking evidence that came out today.
Okay.
Concerning the LA fires, which we're going to get to.
Okay.
But right now I'm puzzle piecing. So I mean, I understand. Like, okay,
I'm here. I'm laughing at it because I know what happened. Okay, that's all that other conspiracy stuff. People try to set fires all the time. 9 times out of, in fact, I forget who it was. Right? What's his name? The actor, right? That lives up there. He said he said his son caught a homeless guy trying to set a fire to keep warm. Okay. This shit happens all the time. Whether it's a power line or people that set arson, okay? People just try to set arson fires all the time. Okay, this shit happens. This is constantly. Okay, the thing is, if the underlying conditions are not there to make it like this, it won't happen. Okay,
you're right.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So, what's up, Passport OG and Mick Drama Bear?
Because I live here. All this stuff that you guys are talking about, everybody in LA is laughing at it. Okay, they are.
So, I mean, because I understand where, like you were saying, how like the white people, they want the trees in the forest and whatnot.
Yes.
I mean, I'm out here in Atlanta. We get that heat too. 9 months out of 12. Just like you guys.
Okay, but thing is,
it's not the same. Hold on, let me finish.
All right.
Relax. We're not arguing, sir. We're just sharing opinions and ideas.
Okay. So, you're telling me about my area, okay? But go ahead.
No, I'm just talking about trees right now.
Okay.
Like you guys, I understand why you guys have the trees out there and whatnot, because just like here in Atlanta,
when
you have trees like that, what it does, it cuts down on your heating and cooling bills tremendously.
It does.
Because of the shade. Yeah. So, that's what I was about to say concerning the trees.
Okay. Yeah, but when is the last time Atlanta had a 6-year drought?
Shoot, it's been a long time.
Okay, we had a 6.5-year drought just before it rained for like maybe 9 months. You had a pretty good rain. Then we had a 2-year drought. Okay,
right. Then y'all had a whole area that hadn't seen water in 100 years.
In a long time. Basically, California.
Didn't y'all have like tornadoes or something? No, y'all had a hurricane recently, didn't y'all?
No, we had gale force winds, and that was Santa Ana's. That's
what was the water storm y'all had? Y'all had a water storm last year.
Depends on what part of California. Depends on what kind of. I mean, you get water spouts every now and then, but it's not going to do anything.
Right. It was y'all had a storm y'all hadn't seen in decades hit y'all. But let's
go ahead.
Put in a puzzle piece.
Let's go ahead and laugh. I need a laugh. Go ahead. Put it.
All right. Let's put in a puzzle piece with Gavin Newsom says he's organizing a Marshall Plan to reimagine LA 2.0 after wildfires.
Over the course of the next several years, Los Angeles will be host to the World Cup and then the Super Bowl and then the Olympics. With this rebuilding effort needing to take place, is LA going to be ready for all of those global events?
My humble position, and it's not
do the dance,
being naively optimistic, that only reinforces the imperative moving quickly, doing in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation. President of the United States, Donald Trump, to his credit, was helpful in getting the Olympics to the United States of America, to get it down here in LA. We thank him for that. This is an opportunity for him to shine, for this country to shine, for California and this community to shine. The opportunity with all of that And all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those 3 iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
For
Tell
this
us about
region,
this Marshall
we're just
Plan.
starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community with folks that love this community to really develop a mindset so that at scale, we're dealing with the scope of this tragedy and responding to it at scale with efficiency, like the executive order I talked about, time value of delivering projects, addressing building codes, addressing permitting issues, and moving forward to rebuilding and being more resilient.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the...
It's word salad, but go ahead. So
Yeah,
what do you read in it? Because I know what he's saying, okay, and I don't blame them because it's going to cost at least what is it, $150 billion to rebuild. They need money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's going on, AB? Oh, let me give my shout outs here to people.
So I don't see anything nefarious in what he said.
Hold on.
Interpret it for me.
Hold on. How you doing there, Red Falls Black? All right. Okay, go ahead. So, AB, how you doing? Before I get into BGS's thing, I want to make sure I address everybody.
Yeah, I'm no expert on California fire, so I've just been keeping my mouth shut.
No, that's fine.
I live here, and this stuff happens all the time. So, so when it happened, I know exactly what had happened, especially with the winds. I said, okay, go ahead.
So basically, the gist I got of is the league didn't want to spend the money to clean up that brush, huh?
Oh, there's two things, because I just talked to my friend that she lives up there. She's
the one on real estate.
Yeah, she's worth about $25 million. Okay, and and she know, like I said, she knows all these people, right? And she was. When it happened, she was telling me the exact same thing. She said, I had been complaining about these conditions for about 7 years, right? And the only thing that saved her houses and saved her area is because those people came up and cleaned up the shit they were supposed to clean up. That's how come her area survived. She right in the middle of that stuff, okay? How come her area survived and everybody else's area got burned up?
Oh, her area cleaned up the brush.
Her area cleaned up the brush, okay? And the thing, you have a lot of what they call white folks that believe in nature and the animals have to have something to eat, and we got to have the houses, the wooded areas and stuff like that, because I want my house to look like it's part of nature and all that kind of bullshit. It happens all the time, right?
What's up, Sick Day? Yeah, you say that.
Because I live in Los Angeles, right? Basically, they don't in the ghetto, okay, in the urban city, they don't allow us to grow our shit like that because it will cause the same damage. We can't do that. But because they're white and they're rich, they can actually bypass a lot of this crap. Okay. Well, now guess what? Well, karma's a bitch. That's what you got. That's how come they're not crying that hard. They know exactly what happened. Have you heard of rich people crying about conspiracy theories and stuff like that? No, and they live there. Why? Because they know exactly what happened. Now the whatchamacallit, the reservoir, right? Okay, the reservoir, in fact, is probably open now. Okay,
they finally fixed the hood and filled it with water.
And filled the water. Yeah, because
they finally did what they should have done.
Basically. No. Okay, look. Okay, if you go back and actually read the whole article, okay, it basically had been ripped for a while, and they finally got the money together to repair the thing. Okay, and
the money was already there.
They finally got the money to repair the thing, right? So basically, they ordered it. They ordered the repairs. It said it was going to take about a year. Okay, take about a year. Now, 3 weeks before they finish the project, guess what happens? You have a fire. Okay.
Why would it take a year to fix a tear in a cover?
You know how big the reservoir. You know how big a reservoir is.
I get that, but it's not like
they have to replace the whole cover. It's one of those things where they could just go and sew it up. It's not like that. They had to replace the whole cover.
Okay, let's set that aside.
Go read the article.
Let's set that aside because the rip is not really what the importance is. We already know everything that went down with it, but it's like, what was the internal workings? So the Palisades, that's prime real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what? And the reason why I played that not only was, hold on, let me back up. Remember, they built the Olympic Village here in Atlanta back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember, because this one we were deep in the whole, pro-black stuff and the conscious community and everything.
Okay.
And I remember how they were talking about how they were going to displace the poor people in order. Well, they actually didn't really want to say that in that sort of sense. They said that they were giving them vouchers to move somewhere else.
Okay.
In order to tear down and rebuild that area for Olympic Village, which is now housing.
Okay.
So that was all as far as
you're borging. I don't know what happened to your mic.
No, it's probably my internet. It's even though I'm plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm plugged in, the Wi-Fi sometimes. Is that better?
Yes.
Am I good?
Yes.
Okay. Instead of them saying, hey, we're going to displace these poor folks, kick them out or anything, they made a quick little 10-second blurb about how they were going to give these people housing vouchers. But the main thing that they talked about was clearing the area, building up Olympic Village, and then when they leave, they were going to turn the housing over to the students.
Okay.
Okay. Wow, y'all are moving fast. So, and that's exactly what wound up happening. They also did that around between West End Station and the. Oh, I can do super chats. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's mine.
Okay, that's yours. Okay, I'm about to say like.
Oh, you simulcast?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm simulcast.
Ain't even a month
Oh,
old.
yeah.
Right,
Normally I don't simulcast because I want everybody to come here, but it's okay.
Right. So they also did that between West End and the and Spelman Morehouse, etc., because they needed to clear that area in order to make it safe.
Okay.
But like with the Palisades, that's prime real estate, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So where were they planning on building the Olympic Village for LA? For
Downtown.
They were planning on doing. So where are they doing it now?
It's probably going to be downtown. It makes no sense to put it in the Palisades. It's too far away.
So they're still going to move it downtown.
You got plenty of space downtown to build a village.
Okay, I'm just keep in mind. I'm asking you because you live there.
Yeah, I mean, all your venues are either downtown or the other venue will be in Inglewood, which is it's like maybe 10 miles away. You don't want to move 30 miles away to the Palisades for athletes. Okay, doesn't make sense.
Okay, I'm just asking because I mean, you don't sit here and let the Palisades burn down unless you have something planned for it.
They didn't let it burn down. Okay. So I'm trying to tell you, it wasn't intentional. They didn't let it burn down. You had firefighters from like 20 different states and 4 different countries trying to put that fire out. They didn't let it burn down.
All right, what's going on, International Jay?
What's going on, brother?
I don't know what all this craziness is about. No, these are highly paid, very influential people. Okay, these are Donald Trump's friends. Okay, they didn't let it burn down.
Well, they did a great job of stopping it. So, but internet,
it's like stopping a freaking hurricane. Can you do that?
Hold on a second. Let me say hi to International Jay. What's going on, International Jay?
Y'all talking crazy.
What's going on, brothers? What's going on?
And just checking on. You ain't been around in a minute, but it's good to see you.
You've been around.
He been around with you.
Oh, well. So, AB, I just wanted to say something to AB real quick.
Go ahead.
Because you got a discrepancy. So there actually was, I think you maybe got those two stories confused. There was actually a female firefighter that did get killed in California.
Okay.
So I think you got that story confused with the actual police chief getting fired. But that was
The fire
somebody else.
chief.
Yeah, she got fired.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Somebody had to take the blame for that.
Somebody had to take the fall for it. Yeah, but there's nothing either one could do about it.
Right, because remember you had accidentally said that somebody got killed, but there actually was a female firefighter that did get killed.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I think you just got those two mixed up.
Yeah, it was a level squirrel or something, but yeah, I got it mixed up. That's fine.
But go ahead. That was up.
Right. So all right. So BGS, before I read the story, is there anything you want to say?
No, go ahead and read it, man. I'm just laughing at it, but go ahead.
Anything you want to say before I read the story?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's get into this. All right. So shocking hidden camera confession. LA mayor official admits office knew wildfires were coming, claims there was nothing they could do, blames residents who lost everything. LAPWP project manager confesses the Pacific Palisades Reservoir was empty for a year. All right, so let's play the tape. So let's roll the tape.
This is like a long time waiting to happen. It was just like a take the time.
Yes.
Meet Alexander Boss, an official inside the office of Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Boss discloses into our hidden camera that Mayor Karen Bass's office knew these wildfires would happen and admits there was nothing the mayor's office could do to stop the fires.
They really had no idea this fire was like a possibility.
Of course they did. The thing is, there's nothing they can do. But red flag warnings, like, it's a big indication of fires.
Yeah.
So of course they did.
The Los Angeles mayor official tells our undercover journalist how Mayor Karen Bass was overseas in Ghana trying to obtain a consulate for Los Angeles there, while the city of Los Angeles was burning to the ground.
So what was the initial response when this all happened? Like, because the mayor wasn't in town.
First of all, she wasn't just out there like partying it up with Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? Like, so she was out there like doing what.
What was she doing?
So right now, Ghana's trying to establish a consulate in Los Angeles. Yeah. One big plan of hers is to integrate like African countries to get consulates out here, and that's like a big like strategic goal of the office.
Our team wanted to investigate further, so we decided to look into the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. This led us to a guy named Angel Luna, and admitted to us into our hidden cameras that the water reservoir that services Pacific Palisades was empty for nearly a year. Angel Luna also stated that the water wouldn't have made a big impact for the residents of Los Angeles.
So that reservoir, we took it out of service because there was a tear like on the floating cover.
How long was the reservoir empty?
It's like a year. Let's say we had like a little bit of notice. You can't slam fill the reservoir.
It's just, I guess, like people ask questions like, oh, could it have been different if there was water in the reservoir, you know?
I don't think it would have made that big of an impact because of the fact that you lost so many homes.
This was Angel Luna's first date with our undercover journalist, and oddly, he revealed he was ignoring his mandatory LADWP training for the Water Emergency Command Center.
So you guys had a training?
So it's the Water Emergency Command Center. It was something that I was ignoring like earlier this year. They're like, oh, here's your training. Like,
last month, Los Angeles, California saw devastating wildfires that led to over 12,000 homes being destroyed. Firefighters attempted to save those homes, but the firefighters ran out of water in the fire hydrants. With the tragic events, residents have been asking questions, demanding answers from their government. OMG decided to take matters into our own hands and obtain answers from local officials using hidden cameras. Meet Alexander Boss, an official inside the office of Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. Alexander Boss specializes in international relations for Bass's office. He spoke about his role to one of our undercover journalists.
I'm in the mayor's office of international. Okay. So we're like the social welfare. So I'm not in like the homeless section, which I'm interested in. So we deal with like all the consulates in the area. We deal with any foreign delegations that come into Los Angeles that want to do like any sort of bilateral agreements.
Can I be honest? This comes off as if he was trying to give like an off-camera interview. Like he probably didn't mind, like maybe like if there was like a written article or anything like that. Because I mean, let's be honest, Karen Bass, she's done. Gavin Newsom, he's done. You know, what's the worst thing they could do is fire him. He can easily turn around and maybe get another job somewhere else.
Okay.
I mean, why else would he be speaking so freely? But then again, at the same time, he's really pretty much telling us stuff that we already knew. And I'm thinking maybe he may have been the source as far as the information that was out there in the media.
Okay, there's tons of sources that out here to give the same information. So
right.
So he's not, what he's saying is
one of these sources.
What I'm saying is what he's saying everybody knows already, okay?
Right. So let's see if he has anything new to add. I mean, because he was in the internal workings.
So far I haven't heard anything new, but go ahead.
Right. Yeah, me neither. So, but let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. Let's go.
Or just kind of like make business easier between the residents.
Plus, you know, I have to pause it so I won't get the copyright strike.
Okay.
We got to do a little interval to avoid the copyright strike. So let's go.
Okay.
Here that are from there for any like potential opportunities. We meet with our deputy. Well, right now we don't have one, but usually when we do have one, we meet with her once or twice a week, like the whole team. When we have a round table and we talk about what we're working on. And it's cool and it's fun.
Boss discloses into our hidden camera that Mayor Karen Bass's office knew these wildfires would happen and admits there was nothing the mayor's office could do to stop the fires.
They really had no idea this fire was like a possibility.
Of course
No.
they did. But the thing is, there's nothing they can do.
Well, I mean, you guys have wildfires every year.
Every year. What I'm saying
We all have this stuff every year.
I mean, we have earthquakes all the time, right?
Mudslides,
so
attacks.
How do you predict a 7.5 earthquake? You can't.
Right.
The possibilities are always there.
You just hope the foundations hold
exactly. Same thing with wildfires, right? And the residents are as much to blame as Karen Bass in her office. They have more. Yeah, some of the wealthiest people on the planet that live there, right? Okay,
that is true. You can't just blame her. That's true.
If they wanted this shit cleaned up, they have more than enough power to actually get Karen Bass and Governor Newsom to come in and clean that shit up. How come they didn't?
Well, you know what? Go ahead, AB. I'm sorry.
I want to answer to that because we're not talking about poor ass residents that on Section 8 in the middle of Atlanta. We talk about billionaires and millionaires from Hollywood with influence. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead, AB. Go ahead, AB. I'll let you go.
Well, I have to agree with you. Yes, you know, there's more than enough money in that area. They FA in their phone.
They have a hotline to Karen Bass's cell phone. Okay,
right.
That's how much power they have. If my girl can do it, okay, and she's not nearly as famous and powerful as these people are, can do it. They could have done the exact same shit. They didn't want to do it.
And you say she's a real estate developer?
She's been that way for 30 years. Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty much part of her job.
I'll give you her name through email, okay?
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's not like I'm doubting you. I'm just saying. So that's pretty much her job to pay attention to things like that, correct?
Well, okay. The thing is, I've been living here most of my life, right? Okay. Say like Altadena, where we have family friends that lived up there for 20 years. Okay. These fires go on all the freaking time. They know exactly what causes it, exactly what the conditions are that will make a wildfire go wild. Okay. And these motherfuckers don't want to spend the goddamn money to actually have this shit cleaned up. They have more than enough money, but they want their money to go elsewhere. Okay.
Right. So your friend, that's her part of her main job is to make sure that, you know, you don't lose your home to a wildfire.
She lives there. Okay. So
right.
Of course not.
Right. So if I'm some actor, it's just it's no different than me here in Atlanta in my house. It's like I'm not having the city come and flush the sewers every year or flush my pipes every year because I'm so busy worried about other things that some things just go to the they get back of my brain. I don't even worry about it because I hired you, I elected you to take care of this. So I'm expecting you to handle these things because I have other things to worry about. My job, my job as an actor, entertainer, a key grip, whatever, is not to be worried about whether or not, somebody should rake the forest, but can make sure that I'm on set at 4 a.m. for makeup or hair or getting the equipment together. That's my main profession. So I hear what you're saying.
Bullshit.
Hold on. In the shoes of people
you keep saying hold on. I'm saying it's bullshit, but go ahead.
Because I'm explaining the situation from my perspective. Okay. Let me get that out.
Please do. Okay. All right. I'll mute up, man. Go ahead.
I'm not worried about that. A prime example, they just the Mexicans put up a new fence in the backyard here, right? I saw that the fence was old, it was chipped, but my neighbor's dogs weren't trying to get up under the fence to come into my yard. So it's out of sight, out of mind, right? I see it, but I'm not necessarily caring about it. But then the guys came and put up a new fence. It looks great, right? Because my neighbors felt the need to handle that, not me. You understand what I'm saying? So these people who lived in the Palisades, I mean, this is why they elected a Karen Bass and all of these, there's Anders Alexander Balls and all of these people. It's your job to make sure that my house doesn't burn down because of debris in the forest, right? Yes? No?
Are you finished? Because I'm trying to have a dialogue, but you don't want to have a dialogue. Okay?
I am having a dialogue. I'm giving you my point of view, and I'm asking the question.
You have county people, you have insurance companies, all fire departments telling you the same shit. You have pushback against it. I don't want it to look like that. I don't want to have this shit cut down. The animals have to eat the shrubs, okay? So they have pushback against that shit because they want their area to look a certain way. They've been knowing this shit. Your insurance company tells you to cut back these shrubs and change the way this area looks, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? Oh, you know what? I like my wooded area, and my house is beautiful. My shrubbery is beautiful. I don't want it to change, okay? They actually fight against it.
Yeah.
Everybody tells them the same shit every fucking year, and they fight against that shit.
Yeah, Mississippi.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. I give up.
That's even worse.
I give up. I give up.
Time out. I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you, as an outsider, this is how I'm seeing it. Because the simple fact that, as you guys are saying, that they're not these people who live in the Palisades who got all this money. You mean to tell me that knowing that they can't get insurance because the reservoirs are empty?
No, it had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with the reservoir.
I'm telling you what we're being told.
I'm telling you what. Okay, all right. I'm done. I'll mute up, man.
Let me explain it.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you the shit that's happening. You trying to tell me how you see it? Why am I up here? Why am I up here?
BGS, listen. Okay. Just listen. Just listen. We're not here to argue. We're here to understand.
You arguing with me?
I'm not arguing with you. Just listen. If you listen, you understand I'm not arguing with you. Okay. What you're saying is, you're saying that the people in the Palisades, that they were told, hey, look, y'all need to rake this stuff up. And
no, you have to cut it back, not rake it up. Cut it back.
You need to cut it back. So that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
And they're saying that no, we don't want to do that because we like the trees and the woodland creatures.
Yes.
Now, but at the same time, because of them not wanting to spend the money themselves to have this done, and because of your reservoirs being empty, your house, your insurance for your house has no insurance.
Yes.
because of this.
Yes.
So you're going, well, okay,
Yes.
cool. I just want to have insurance.
That's what
And
they did.
hold on, in a city that's known every year for having wildfires.
Yes.
You're saying that they agreed to
Yeah,
this?
yes.
That is insane. This is what I'm saying. I'm not arguing with you. I'm trying to understand because you live out there, right? So you know what's going on. So this is about understanding. So these people are just bone cold stupid, is what you're telling me.
And what happens to most people that do this kind of shit? It won't happen to me.
Yes.
Yep. I can tell you.
Lord.
I can tell you. I can tell you firsthand.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Well, you only okay. You guys can talk. Let Jay start talking first. Go ahead, Jay.
When you guys are done, make your point. Just say I'll pass the mic. So
I'm gonna mute up, man, because you guys are telling me something I live with for the past.
No,
50,
I'm asking
years.
questions. You hear me asking a question?
I'm telling you exactly what it is, and you say like I don't believe it. Okay, well don't believe it.
Well, no, it's not that I'm saying I don't believe it. Like I'm a CNN host. I'm saying like, man, I don't believe it. These people look crazy.
I've talked to these motherfuckers, man, and this is how they are.
Man, that's wild. That is wild. That is insane.
You have like in Altadena, my we used to call my grandpa, right? They have 3 big ass pine trees in their fucking yards, okay? Big ones, like 40 feet tall, okay?
What's
in their yard. And when it gets dry, guess what's going to happen to your house if it catches fire? It's going to burn. What do they cut the tree down?
No.
Why?
Look, our pipes, like 2 years ago, our main drainage pipe was clogged, right?
Okay.
Because we have a maple tree out front and the roots got into the pipe system.
Okay.
Do you know they told us that it was illegal to cut down a maple tree here in Georgia?
Okay.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding. So of course they went in there with the high pressure hose to kill the root, but they was like, we're gonna be back out here in a couple of years because it's gonna grow back.
Okay.
So we just
you gotta get the law. You gotta get the law changed.
You say they pulled the insurance days before the fire. There wasn't enough time to react.
Oh, they're months before the months, not days, months.
Ooh, that's even worse.
They have been pulling California. The insurance companies in California have been pulling out for the last. Remember that big fire in the middle of California with the wires and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Remember that? Okay.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years ago, that big ass fire. Okay. They have been telling these people that these conditions are ripe for this. Okay. And you have to the insurance premiums actually went up. And these motherfuckers don't want to pay that shit. They say, forget it. We don't want to change the conditions. We want the things to look the way they look, okay? And fuck it. So that's what happened.
That's wild.
Yeah. So
is it better if I say that's wild instead of saying okay? Well, that's wild. That's wild. Woo. Okay, International Jay, you was trying to get something in there. I'll pass the mic.
I agree with BGS. The attitude that the people have in California about this situation is not uncommon in disaster-prone areas, right? You know, I'm originally from New Orleans, so you have a lot of similar mindsets about these type of things. Even though it's so bad, you know, the hurricane situation is so bad in parts of Louisiana that it's mandatory. Like you don't have an option if you're going to get not only home insurance, because you know you have different type of insurances that cover different stuff. You have your home insurance or renter's insurance. You have your flood insurance, and wind stuff like that. Yeah, wind insurance. Yeah, 'cause I actually have my
butter insurance.
Yeah. So you have all different type of insurances that you need to have. Which I actually have my insurance adjuster's license, which I kind of learned about this stuff a couple years ago when I got my license. But as far as specifically as it's about the wildfires, right? So it's multiple aspects of it, right? It's what BGS said about people not wanting to pay this and that. But the thing about wildfires is it's an ecological issue at the core, right? Mm-hmm. But after the ecological aspects, the people make it worse by not allowing things that need to happen to kind of mitigate the situation. So things like keeping the brush low, thinning the forest. When you don't do these type of things, this actually significantly increases the fire intensity, right? So let's say if they would have done these type of things, it would have. I mean, the wildfire would have still occurred, but it would have been a lot less.
A lot less, yeah. Like this.
Yeah, it's been a lot less.
Another aspect is the combustibility of the homes in those areas.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So if you're building homes with less combustible resources for the homes, then that's also going to reduce. So you have to think about it. Why are you continuing to?
There's another factor because a lot of homes that burnt down were built prior to 1980, I do believe. The ones that were built after 1990, yes, so the ones built after 1990 didn't burn.
Yeah. So think about it. They were doing building with better materials or less combustible materials, but it was kind of like piecemeal, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So they never made it like, oh, okay, well, you're gonna have to. Everyone has to do this, right? So that's why you've had the amount of damage. So I think the final tally was, I think they had 29 people that died, over 11,000 buildings that burned.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at the situation.
Yeah, you had a perfect storm. You had very, very unusually high dry winds. Okay. Yeah. After a year and a half of no rain, so basically everything's dried out, and usually high winds, and basically, if it happened, even if the reservoir was filled, it wouldn't have made that big a difference.
All right. Again, it's open
because
panel. Hold on. It's the open panel. Anybody can come up. We're talking about this situation because of Karen Bass's latest faux pas, her leaked phone call.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, if you don't do the work early and clear this stuff out, by the time it gets going, Karen Bass and the fire department can't do much squat about it except contain it. That's all they try to do.
Right, exactly.
Right. Matter of fact, let's get to her now.
Because think about this. They had firefighters from all over the country that came in and helped. They had federal firefighters. I didn't even know we had federal firefighters.
Yes.
Until I started looking into the situation, they came in to help. And then you also have places like
Mexico.
You have what's called ground crews, where the fire trucks and the fire hoses can't even get in there, so they got to go in there with like what do you call it, axes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it cut down the shrubs and basically cause fire breaks. Yeah.
Yeah, so little stuff like that. So like I said, I grew with BGS. Like, if the things that I mentioned, if you don't do those things to lessen the intensity of the fire, once the fire happens, I mean, it's really nothing you can do.
It's Katie barred the door, basically.
Yeah, like Gita, he was saying like he had to get a permit to cut down the tree in Marietta last week. It's the homeowner's responsibility to take care of the shrubs in the perimeter of your residence.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Bruh. I got right now because of, and Jada knows, we had that snowstorm, right? I've got like over the week of that snowstorm sitting next to my car. I wound up having to park my car on the grass. I've got a pine tree sitting right where I parked my car. It seemed like at least every other day, like a branch, not a twig, not a stick, but a whole thick branch was falling off of the pine tree onto my yard. Like my car has a dent in it on the side because of that.
Okay.
From back in December. I'm being lazy and paying to get it fixed. But I'm going with Jita. It's like the front yard, my front yard up front, empty spot but there's a pine tree right there. Branches were falling. I got this big, thick, giant branch that's just hanging by like how you do your fingernail and a piece of it is hanging off, or a hangnail. It's hanging by a thread, quote unquote. I called the city about it. City of DeKalb. They was like, "You got some money?" They tried to charge me $800 just to cut the little thread down and remove the branch. And I'm like, man, y'all people are crazy. You say pass down to take the tree out. Yeah, well, I'm not paying to get that tree cut. Like, that's crazy. So, but yeah, like, I understand, like, you have to take care of your property. So when you were saying what was going out there with the Palisades, these people not paying their homeowners insurance because they want to be lazy and cheap and don't want to have the forest rate because they want woodland creatures that eat leaves or whatever. Man, these people are stupid. But I call it karma.
I mean, then you don't know California white people. Then this is very common.
Yeah, them people are stupid. You say I don't know why people balk at preventative maintenance. With my situation, when that branch falls, nobody's going to get hurt because I have a big front yard, big side yard. If it falls, it's going to fall. Nobody's dog that's being walked is going to get hurt unless they let that sucker go 50 feet into my yard to go pee on my tree. Then the dog deserved it.
Yeah. I mean, people move there is because of the surroundings and the woods and the shrubs and shit like that. That's why they spend all that money to move there. Okay.
It's on my property. It belongs to me. It's on my property. I'm sorry. I'm answering this.
Okay, go ahead.
And you know, they don't have to get rid of it all. You just got to thin that crap down, man.
And that's what they say. But the thing is, they don't listen. Okay.
We know which YTE people, man. We know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And then when it happens, all of a sudden they're not as.
Oh my God.
These people are very rich and very powerful. They're really that upset. We would really hear about it. But they know. Everybody knows what happened. Okay.
Yeah, they know this.
And they're lucky Trump got back into it because he forced the insurance company to actually come back and cover this shit because they weren't going to do it.
All right. So y'all ready to get into this leak phone call?
Let me just say one thing real quick before you get into
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I do know that she fired the female police chief.
The fire chief.
I mean, why I keep saying police chief?
I don't know. We don't have a female police chief. Never had one.
Fire chief.
Yeah.
Fire chief. Yeah. Female fire chief. So they said that she sent 1,000 firefighters home the morning the fires broke out.
Wow.
Okay. Why?
Doesn't say.
They were laid off. I'm gonna lay them off because they the firefighters got a raise and they had to lay off a certain amount of firefighters. So is that what she's talking about?
No, they weren't laid off.
No, she sent them home, like go home for the day or some crap like that. Yeah, like, you know, ain't nothing for y'all to do. Y'all might as well just pretty much go on vacation in sort of in a sense.
Okay.
Right.
I'm sure the next day they were called back. So.
Looking with that smirk.
It ain't like they all went home and flew to DR for a week. No, they were back the next day. So
yeah,
I don't know why.
Let's get to this.
Go ahead and play it, man.
Yeah, let's get to this. All right, let's go.
And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it, and hopefully you can read in between the lines. But I would just appreciate, and it's hard for me to tell you this, but hold tight. You will understand soon. The situation is very dangerous, and I would never do. I will take the criticism before I do a publicity stunt. And frankly, a press conference at this point in time would just be publicity.
I think
the
neighbors, the property owners, and the residents. I mean, 41,000 people live within a square mile here.
Yeah.
2 families share a 1-bedroom apartment.
But they want to hear that something is going to be done.
They want to know it's recognized. But they want to know it's recognized.
Exactly. But if I have a choice between that and compromising something, I just have to go along with it. It's not my area of expertise. I want to make sure that you are safe. And hopefully you can read in between the lines. But I would just appreciate and it's hard for me to tell you this, but hold tight. You will understand soon.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And when I am able to talk, I will be happy to go into great detail.
Okay. And you've got me on the street, and you're welcome to call me at any time. I'll call you right back.
No problem. And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it.
A Citizen Journalism Foundation.
Okay, what's the big?
That's pertaining to what?
That's pertaining to why she wasn't in L.A. during the fires.
Okay.
And it's almost like, I mean, what they're trying to say is that it sounds like that. To me, it sounds like she's trying to cover her tail.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
All right. Because she how long was she really out there? How long was she really out in Ghana? Let's take a look. That's why we have supercomputers. All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's see here. Okay, here. Who should we trust? Who should we trust? Because a lot of news organizations, they
if it's a schedule,
let's go LA Times.
LA Times is the best. It's a scheduled
All right,
trip.
Let's go LA Times. All right. Let's see here. Oh God. Nobody's. How can I get rid of this crap?
She was there 4 days. January
4th. Thank you. Okay. 8th. She was there 4 days. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, I'll just say she was there January 4th to January 8th.
Yeah. Okay.
So she was there 4 days, but she's saying she was there for 2 work days, which would be like what, a Monday and a Friday and a Monday,
or Thursday and Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, it sounds like what she's trying to say is that I had whatever it's almost like she's trying to say, whatever they find, I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't there. I was somewhere else, because as they say here, just 3 days before fires erupted in the LA area, Bass issued a message to our source advising them to read in between the lines and hold tight. You will understand soon, suggesting she was aware of significant developments that would soon impact the city. I don't know. This is
That's bullshit. We'd have heard about it. Just bullshit. But go ahead.
Right. But my whole thing is, like, when it comes to like you say, that cover, when it comes to the cover, the reservoirs, whatever, my whole thing is, well, where's the money? Why did it take so long? All right.
Mm-hmm.
And who was in charge? Those are the 3 questions that I would ask.
Okay.
Right.
They're in the article, but you can find it, because I actually, you can look up the Palisade cover. They actually talked about it well before it even happened. Basically, had the fires happened 3 weeks later, the reservoir probably would have been filled.
Okay, hold on. We'll take a look.
It had been dry for like 9 months. Okay.
All right, so here's the LA Times again. Let me go. Should I go the Independent?
San Gabriel Valley, whatever it is, you can try that one.
What about Reuters?
You can try Reuters, okay.
Yeah, even though they lost their funding.
Okay.
They lost their government funding.
Basically, she went to Ghana on the 4th, right? Okay, the fires happened on the 7th. She came back the next day after the fires started. She got on the plane and came back. What is she supposed to do?
Nothing, because she didn't say a word. But in all honesty, you would have expected her to say something to the media, because personally, like, if I was in that situation, I'm like, hey, look, I understand that the devastation is horrible. I feel for the families that lost everything, but we're going to work tirelessly to fix the situation, figure out what went on, and we just need everybody to sit tight. We'll be looking to try to find some type of federal release for you people. You know, this is where I stand. Like, I'm fresh off the plane. I haven't showered. I haven't eaten. As soon as I heard what happened, I was on the first flight here. Something that way, you at least have people be like, okay, yeah, chick, you better do something besides sitting there and arguing with Trump.
Okay, the thing is,
18 months of insurance.
the thing is,
Or whatever.
she doesn't need to say anything. This happens all the time. They know the drill. You don't have to say nothing. Everybody know what the drill is. They know the drill.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even have to be here. They know. What was she gonna do? Tell them something they already know what to do? They know the drill.
And I'm certain they were contacting her while she was over in Ghana. So yeah.
As soon as it happened, yeah. Why do you think she got on a plane to come back?
Anything would have been better than just sitting up there like a damn puppet or a dummy.
What is
hold on.
Okay.
Anything
okay
would have been better than sitting there with reporters with mics in your faces at the airport asking you, hey, this, that, and the other, and instead you're just sitting there like
she got off the plane. She doesn't know anything.
Right. It ain't like the plane was a 2-minute ride. You had plenty of
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Okay, all right. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute up.
You had plenty of time to come up with a statement. So when you because you knew reporters were waiting for you, you had plenty of time to come up with a statement. So that way, as soon as they shoved the mic in your face, you were prepared to have a statement instead of sitting there looking like you were dumbfounded. You could have said anything, something. I mean, people want to hear you say something. Millions of dollars in property damage has happened. It's a catastrophe. All of these mishaps, they're coming at you left and right. Your fire department, you, Gavin Newsom, water reservoirs, say something.
The fire had just started. It wasn't like it had burnt for like 2 weeks. It had just started. They didn't know how bad it was going to be. It had just started. 12,000 homes didn't just burn up in like a day. It took 3 weeks. It had just started. That's why she came back. It had just started. She's supposed to be gone like a week and a half. It had just started. What is she gonna say?
This article didn't say anything. Anything could have been.
How would that help?
Anything would have been better than nothing. Even if it was just some Kamala Harris word salad, anything would have been better than nothing.
Most people in LA didn't care.
What? Most people, like who?
Like me. I live here. Nobody cared.
It burned down.
Okay. Bae.
It burned down?
Bae, this shit happens every year. They know the fucking drill. Your fire departments, your governor, all these people that are on site are already saying shit, evacuating people. What's she gonna say? It's already happening. What difference does it make?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Anything would have been better than absolutely nothing.
Okay. All right, man.
Because this wasn't just an incident that was just covered by, oh my God, these things. It wasn't just an incident that was just covered by California. This was like global news.
Babe, we understand what you're saying. Either she'll pay for it in the next 4 years or she won't.
What I'm saying is, okay, the fire starts on the 7th. She gets there on the 8th. The fire just started. They had no idea how bad it was going to be.
That is true.
It is. Oh, all right, man. Okay, it's not the point.
All right, man. All right. Didn't say anything when she got off the plane. So her not saying nothing is cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, she was
listen
to me. She was ridiculed globally for sitting there looking like a dummy, not saying anything.
Okay.
And either she'll pay for it, and the next time she's up for re-election, or she won't.
Yeah, she's definitely out of there.
No matter what she said, no matter what she said, she's gonna pay for it. It's on her watch.
Yes, you already cover bald head Reid.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing we covered because she was actually the comedy skit, to be honest.
The Black Manosphere strikes again. Okay, and the LA, the Ice Cube effect is undefeated.
What's the Ice Cube effect?
Remember when? Okay, the Ice Cube. You never heard of the Ice Cube effect? Remember when Ice Cube was actually interviewed by the Fox Soul Queen?
Oh, the whole but black women aren't black people, and she said no.
Yeah. And she said no, and basically, if you go, in fact, Dr. Neal got almost censured in Wake Forest for this shit. Okay, and basically, Karen Bass almost lost the election because of the Ice Cube effect for Los Angeles. Okay, and also it also affected what's her name in Georgia, running for governor.
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams, yeah.
Stacey Abrams.
They found
money, by the way. They found $2 billion.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, she's not getting that money.
And that's not our only scandal either. So
the thing is, she didn't
bully.
And in other words, either it's her money or she's been hiding money for the Democrats. It doesn't matter either way. She's done. But what I'm saying is, the black male voter backlash is called the Ice Cube effect, okay, which directly came from the Black Manosphere.
Man, there's a lot of people celebrating on Twitter about this. You got of course, the Black Manosphere folks. You got your white conservatives, your black conservatives. They on there celebrating on Twitter, boy.
Well, celebrating the demise of Joy Reid.
Yeah, and basically, all the pundits, black political pundits, are blaming black man and Black Manosphere for this shit too.
Really?
Yes, they are.
And so we don't care.
Why is it always? Well, it's always our fault.
because we actually promoted and did this shit, so we actually take credit for this.
We'll happily take credit.
Wait a minute. Okay, you know my response to that is?
And
go get the turn the dislike back on extension for Chrome and go look at Joy Reid's videos, and we'll see whose fault it is.
Oh yeah, we made a whole campaign against Joy Reid, man, for a good 2 years. So yeah, we had a big effect on that.
And we don't feel nothing and don't care that she done got fired. And
nope.
And as far as the Black Manosphere, we feel nothing for Karen Bass, okay, and BLM, because BLM got her put in office, and George Soros.
Oh well, I hear he's losing now. Let me shut up. I don't want to get.
He's a billionaire. He'll be fine.
I know he'll be fine.
Yeah, nah.
If you want to laugh and see everybody celebrating at her being fired, all you gotta do is type her name on Twitter. They going in.
Oh yeah,
it's like a coalition been formed against her.
Some of her supporters are crying.
So the weapons formed against her is prospering, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't mind people, talking about the fires and stuff like that. But all this conspiracy shit, man, I get tired of hearing it because it's not true.
Quick question. Can y'all hear this?
Which one?
No, we can't hear whatever you're playing right now.
Damn it! Because they just said that I lost my audio. All right, somebody do me a favor.
Take it down and put it back up again and see what happens.
Okay. All right. So
StreamYards does it.
Just remove it, then bring it back.
Yeah, and see what happens.
Okay. All right. Tell me, can you hear it now?
Nope.
Nope.
Put the link in. I'll try it.
Yeah. I'm about to say somebody. I'll post the link. I'll put it. Well, I can't put it in the back chat, but here, post that link. That's on the Stacey Abrams with the gold bars.
No. Shout out to DOGE, right?
Caught her hand in the cookie jar, huh?
You say the ABC's The View might be next to get the axe. I think they'll probably get rid of old girl first.
Whoopi?
No, the other chick. Can y'all hear now?
Try it again.
Dang it! I just got this from
okay.
And BGS, she's next on the chopping block.
See if it'll work.
What's up, AM?
See if it works on mine.
All right. Can you? Okay, there we go. All right. There you go.
Can you hear it?
Turn it up.
It's low, but we can hear it.
It is way too low. Is it me? Hold on.
A group of Democratic Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams received a $2 billion grant from the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, as part of a larger $20 billion fund.
If you look at my legislative record, I have fought for education, I have fought for our children, I have fought for our teachers, and I will fight for the future.
The money came from the Inflation Reduction Act. But the Department of Government Efficiency claims the funds were parked in an outside financial institution to avoid oversight. According to EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, the $20 billion was intended for grants but raised concerns about organizations set up to quickly claim the funds.
This pot of $20 billion was awarded to just 8 entities that were then responsible for doling out your money to NGOs and others at their discretion with far less transparency.
Power Forward Communities, which has ties to Abrams, was awarded $2 billion despite only reporting $100 in revenue in its first 3 months. The grant was given in April 2024. Power Forward Communities aim to provide capital for clean energy projects like heat pumps, solar panels, and EV chargers. The group was formed by Rewiring America, where Abrams serves as senior counsel. She has publicly supported the project, saying it helps expand clean energy access for all.
Right?
Abrams also campaigned for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in Georgia during the 2020 and 2024 presidential elections.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, what did he say? What was the main point that he said?
Go ahead. I was going to say basically what happened is basically it's supposed to go to EPA stuff like heat pumps and solar cells and shit like that, but things it never got paid. It went other places. They're hiding money.
Right. So basically, it was.
Yeah, it
like
was
money laundering.
She was basically laundering money. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right. I'm just checking my audio. Tell me how this sounds. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
We can hear it.
Okay.
It's low, but we can hear it. Yeah.
Oh my God. I guess it must be this video specifically.
Okay. Because you hear when I played it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she got caught. That's good. Goes from debt to millionaire. All right, let's see what that was 2 years ago. Wow, this is 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to go back to the Joy Reid situation? Since that whole that whole thing was a bust. Yeah. Let's see.
We saw that coming right after the election that it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
She saw it coming.
MSNBC has canceled.
All right, let's go back to this. Let's have a little fun tonight. It's Sunday. We ain't doing nothing. We ain't got nothing to do. All right.
Joy Reid's show, The Readout, as part of a major shakeup at the network, and I wonder why they would make that call. It's surprising when you look at her spot-on analysis of US politics. I mean, here she is calling Donald Trump's team a party of racists and Nazis.
Where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator, and controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class.
Doesn't that sound like what the Democratic Party was doing the past 4 years?
Absolutely. And see, what happened was her bodyguard, her protector, the president of running the corporation, it was a black woman, Rashida Jones. She just had to step down. And when she stepped down, they replaced her with a white woman who went to purge and all of it. They not only got Joy Reid, they got Wagner, Alexandra Wagner, and somebody else. They're not playing. They're not playing with these broads who played this game for the past 4 years. Oh, we gonna push this LBGTQ LMNOP agenda. Okay, you keep it up. You go right ahead.
All right. Anybody else?
She was pushing that. Yeah, she was pushing that crap that they were putting in these books, like teaching these kids sexual positions. She was trying to defend that crap.
She was.
Yeah. Oh, against that white woman at one time.
And
She was arguing with that
sadly,
woman, the white chick.
yeah, and sadly, she's brainwashed a lot of black people. Good Lord.
Well, you know, Queen Latifah endorsed Kamala, so.
Oh well. Whatever.
We passing the mic. Anybody else?
That's saying a lot, though. Go ahead.
You good, International J?
You even got Megyn Kelly going in on Twitter. It's funny, man. It's a celebratory weekend on that one.
All right.
Now, wait, we talking about Joy Reid, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We good? Everybody got their comments out?
Yeah. I did want to say something about the video on the screen real quick. Well, not the video on the screen, but the whole Stacey Abrams thing. Just make a quick comment. She was doing that old school money laundering, right? Because LBJ kind of did the same thing when he was a representative, a congressman. He actually was the head of the National Youth Administration of Texas under FDR, under those programs by FDR, and he was kind of doing the same type of stuff. Even though she did it, I don't know the details of how she did it, but it seems like she did it on a larger scale. He was basically doing stuff like, you know, giving certain money to students and stuff like that in the entire state of Texas, you know, work jobs and stuff like that. And he would kind of have like false things going on, like, okay, I gave such and such amount to this person, but it's going to like it's not really going to that person, basically.
Right. Like sort of like
that's
what
that.
just doing in Dalton and Thornton.
Yeah, so she doing that old school scamming over there.
And
and guess what? I ain't heard a word. I didn't hear a word from her about these accusations.
Oh, she ain't gonna say much. Nothing.
Because I'm gonna say this. This is what it seems like she's doing. I don't think we have clear-cut evidence. All we know is that the EPA had, I think, 20 billion, and about 2 billion of that went to an organization associated with her. That's the facts. Now, I think that most likely she was probably scamming, but you know, we haven't come into the details because we don't even know was the money actually spent or sent to other organizations or whatever. Because
no, they caught it.
Because remember the money they caught. Okay, so they took the money back. Then you saying
they haven't taken it back yet, but they know it went to her. So
right.
You know, you're looking
That's
at
what I'm saying. We don't know if the money was even spent yet, because we know we talked about this the other day. The money that went to New York for the immigrants, the 59 million that Elon Musk was talking about, they were actually able to take that money out before they spent that money.
To the hotel?
Yeah, for the hotel. And I was talking about yesterday, they was able to snatch that money out the city coffers, and now the city is suing them because the city is saying, you know, hey, y'all, the last administration told us to take these immigrants in, and we was promised $80 million in grants. So we understand y'all trying to do something else, but hey, we ain't trying to pay this ourselves.
You know what I say? I say, sue the last administration. Oh, you can't? Well, too bad. All right, let's go home.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Disgusting rhetoric was on repeat. But here's her take on Kamala Harris's election campaign, because according to Joy Reid, it was flawless.
I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. You know, I mean, she had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift. She had the Swifties. She had the Beehive. Like, you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think that's still true.
I mean, come on. Taylor Swift, y'all see the look? She actually had the look of the meme when she got booed at the Super Bowl. With the little puppet, it'd be looking off to the side. She literally did that when she got booed at the Super Bowl.
I mean, Queen Latifah, a well-known you know, well known. I'm not gonna say the word, but you know where I'm going here. Is it that surprising that she
Given
I say
supported
it.
the
I
first
say it for you. A
person?
well-known Elizabeth. She's Elizabeth.
Okay,
Elizabeth,
Yeah,
there you go.
that's what Art New Stalin us. We like to call them over. We politically correct. We call them
is
Elizabeths.
is
They're
that somebody
Elizabeths.
at Taco Bell or dining
No,
at the Wild?
no. You take those acronyms and you put them together. She's a Elizabeth.
Like it's so
Oh,
surprising that she would support a black female presidential candidate. That's so surprising, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, but did you see the white people laughing at her when she said that? When Joy Reid said that?
Nah, I missed it. Run it back. Run it back.
I'll run it back because they laughed at her. They like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
All right, watch this. I'm sorry. Watch they laugh.
Flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. You know, I mean, she had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift. She had the Swifties. She had the Beehive. Like you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think.
Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they laughed.
You get that smug look on Rachel Maddow's face. Good Lord.
Yeah, she said, I can't believe she's trying to sell this bullshit.
Right.
Oh, that's the next one that's on NBC's Chopping Block, gentlemen.
I doubted that she making them too much money. No, I don't think.
Bro, they done cut her back to 5 days, and they cutting back her segment. She's the next one. Trust me.
Okay.
She was working 1 day a week at 30 million. They cut her at 25 million and made her work 5 days a week. Personally, I would cut her money a whole lot more. It's either I would take $10 million out of her pocket and be like, if you don't like it, you can walk.
It depends on how much money is she bringing in, though.
Yeah, so the question is, how long is MSNBC going to be around? Because I mean, they've been losing money.
I think they're trying to sell
viewers.
it. I think they're trying to sell it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Trump. Who said? Musk said, I might buy it.
Well, how bad is ABC doing? Because I seriously want them to get rid of all those hosts on The View. That show needs to go.
They're owned by Disney. That's probably not likely to happen.
They're owned by Disney. Okay, Disney
And
is.
we know where Disney leans. We already
Exactly. That's why it's not going to happen.
They're trying to do away with DEI policies, but they are so entrenched with blue-haired, lesbian, trans, black race hustling people from almost like top to bottom. Not to mention that they still have people with BlackRock that are sitting on the board. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I mean, it's almost like they're the ones who, when you go to an island somewhere in Southeast Asia and you got some 60-year-old dude still thinking he's fighting World War II or something like that. I mean, they have to clean serious house.
So they said Rachel Maddow's ratings is the lowest since 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And her
That's
show
about the
and
time she came on.
her show and Morning Joe are supposed to be the two highest rated shows.
The anchor shows.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. How's what Morning Joe did? They went down to Mar-a-Lago and quote unquote
kiss the ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
About the only guy that's surviving over there is Chris Matthews. Truthfully, everybody else is floundering. And the only reason because Chris Matthews, he's above the fray because he doesn't go down in that mud like they do. He tries to stay above it as much as he can, and he's got that look. He has that look. What term is that?
Above the fray. I hate that term with a passion.
Well, it's true. You might not like it, but it's true.
So now that I have y'all here, what do y'all think about Scott Jennings taking her slot? Do you think he would have been a good spot for her?
Taking whose slot?
Replacement.
Talking about Reid?
Scott, yeah, if he would have took her spot. Because she's got the 7 o'clock. She's got the 7
taking her spot though.
I barely know who the dude is.
Yeah,
so I couldn't tell you.
Hold on. That's not who's taking her spot, though.
No, I know they're giving it to Michael Steele and a couple other losers.
Oh, Michael Steele. Oh my God.
Michael Steele, the linebacker with lipstick, and some Latino chick.
Oh God.
Yeah.
They putting those three together. And
Right.
then that dude you were speaking of, he's an ABC court media dude personality. So
God,
no.
Yeah, he be on CNN. Yeah. Oh, wait. He's the guy that be on CNN that he's the only reason that we know that Abby Phillips even exists. Now, those of y'all who aren't familiar with Scott Jennings, I'll show y'all Scott Jennings clip after we finish with this.
Okay, yeah, he's like the conservative guy on CNN.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He was advisor to Mitch McConnell at one point.
Oh yeah, okay. That's why.
Is he the guy to always be going with Abby Phillip?
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all right.
He was in the Bush administration as well.
Okay.
Junior.
Yeah, Scott Jennings he's that dude, man. He be roasting them. So let me continue with this, and we'll get to the Scott Jennings.
He's probably too far to the right to take her spot.
Yeah. And FYI, Mitch McConnell won't be running for re-election anymore. This is his last go around.
No more strokes right in the middle of the
speech. Yeah, he let y'all know that up front because he let you know that up front because he's like, shit, I ain't gonna be here. I might be locked up by the time re-election.
He might not be alive. He's having strokes at the mic.
So. Right, or he might. You know what? I say that what Mitch McConnell did is sort of like he went ahead. He's pretty much pulling an Eric Adams. I'll vote for you like Kash Patel. I'll give you my vote. I'll announce that I'm not running anymore, quote unquote, pretty much in early retirement. I'm pretty much, my mental state is I'm not even fit to stand trial, let alone testify. So here, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Here's your vote.
I'm over here pissing in my
bikinis. It's fine. I got plenty of investments and properties. Y'all can have this little cash in my bank account. My family will be straight.
Yeah. He's probably not gonna live much longer with the strokes he's having.
All right, y'all ready?
Well, I'm glad he's stepping down because I didn't know he was that damn old.
Hell yes.
Yeah. He's having really a lot of health issues.
Shoot, he was worse than Biden.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll on. Oops, sorry.
That says a lot.
That's still true. The Swifties, that really moved the needle. But apparently to Joy Reid, inflation isn't something that impacts every single American. No, in fact, it's just a word that Republicans have sort of made up.
The people I ever hear use the word inflation are journalists and economists, right? So that is not part of the normal lexicon of the way people talk. So it's interesting that Republicans are doing something they don't normally do, right? Which is not use the common tongue, right? Not use just common English to sort of do on their campaigns like they're doing with crime. But what they've done is they've taught people the word inflation, right? Yeah. Most people who would have never used that word ever in their lives are using it now because they've been taught it.
Good riddance.
BGS, we've been knowing about the word inflation since the 70s. What the fuck is she talking about?
Word salad.
Yes, for real. Like, we just the American public just now learning about the word inflation. Shit, we've been dealing with this shit since Nixon, Carter, and Reagan. What is you talking about, lady?
Yeah.
Let me say this because I heard her say this earlier, but I was waiting for this. BGS, you and I, we come from the same circles.
Yeah.
We know that one of the biggest problems that we have in Black society is a lack of proper education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the biggest issues that we have is financial literacy.
That's true.
Big facts.
Literacy, period, but financial literacy on top of that.
Financial literacy, extremely. It's one of the biggest things, biggest problems we have.
And of all wage classes, too, because they have very people make a lot of money and reckless with their money. So
yeah, I'm not trying to
tell you.
If I accidentally kick you, just come back. I'm trying to get rid of your extra window. Uh-oh. Yep, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kick him out. All right, so I'm going to let him come back. Let me put this up there. I didn't mean to kick him out. Like I said, I was trying to get rid of it. Oop, wrong thing. Sorry about that. Let me remove that. I was trying to get rid of his extra window. So I apologize for that.
Bay, you gonna make your point though, Bay? Make your point.
Yes, I am. So when you have somebody that is a mental midget like Joy Reid, who sits up here and talks about, what black people, she was really saying black people, because it's not like she grew up around a bunch of white folks, that they don't know about, they don't know what the economy is and things like that. It's like, you're insulting your audience.
Yeah, and she got a lot of fans too, and it's ugh. Anyway.
You're insulting your audience. Okay. Hold on, that's BGS. All right, sorry about that. I was just trying to clear out your extra window.
Oh, you could have told me to just stop
sharing.
sharing.
Just tell them to stop sharing.
Yeah, my bad. I'm trying to be the showrunner.
Yeah.
So for her
brother's point.
Yeah. So I'll get.
No, I just go. Hello.
Leave me alone. Let me get this out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
For her to say that, it was so insulting, but it also shows that one of the biggest problems that we have amongst us as a people is financial literacy. It's like whenever I talk to my cousin, she's a CPA. She's been a CPA for over 30 years. One of the main things we talk about is money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who is in your circles that you're not talking about finances? How do you sit here and watch shows like CNN, MSNBC, Fox, whoever, and you're not talking about money, especially with what's going on during this presidency? Are you dumb or are you stupid?
Women, that's funny. Women that are in positions like that, they consider that their job, but not their personal life. So when they get home, they handle money completely differently than they would on their job.
Paying your light, rent, gas, telephone. If that is the extent of what you know about economics, you are in trouble.
They know more, but they don't practice it in their personal life. That's the problem.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If you give them some other client and say, sharing out this client's finances, they can do the proper job. When it comes to them, they don't do it. They don't believe in it.
That's why they are the most evicted, because the second they lose their job, when the rent is due, next thing you know, they already getting a notice on the door.
I actually did a show on that.
Nothing.
Because they spent the money someplace else. Okay.
Right. They literally live. This is the sad part that happens to a lot of people, but mainly us as black folks, is that, and this is men and women, but mainly women, or men who have been raised wrong by women. Your lifestyle is based on your income, as in you will max out your rent or mortgage based on your monthly income. So then the second you get fired or something, because you've maxed it out, and all of this extra money that you get on your second check, because let's be honest, a lot of us, and it's not a slam, because with the cost of everything right now, average apartment, 2,000, whatever, you doing what you can. But when you make more than that, where you're living to your check, to where your $4,000 check for that first month, the majority of it, $3,000, is going to your rent or your mortgage, when you can easily downsize. And then your next check you pay your utilities, and then you take that extra money and you go in to buy red bottoms and the latest jeans and the latest gadgets and everything, to the point where you're pretty much eating top ramen the last week of the month, waiting on the first.
It's called a poverty mindset, because the way they came up, if the money didn't get spent, they wouldn't have it. So they figure, I have to spend this money as fast as possible, otherwise I won't have it.
And this is a intergenerational thing, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
A lot of them really don't know, man. Because I was in, organizations like, young black professionals, and sometimes they would have like CPA and investment, like financial people that handle like personal finance and stuff like that to come speak. And I'll be listening to some of these speakers like, man, I learned this in high school. This is basic like fundamentals of investments and stuff like that. I'm talking about lawyers. I'm talking about all manners of professionals, doctors. You know what I'm saying? And they're just learning some of this stuff for the first time.
They know it. They don't believe in it. Okay, they hear it all the time. They don't believe in it. And when you try to correct the behavior, they call you cheap. You just cheap. You just don't. You don't want to manifest. We don't believe in yourself. So if you have a balance in your checking account toward the end of the month, we got to go spend this money. Okay.
Well, see, that's a whole nother problem. You have those that generally don't know it, and then you have those that know it but don't practice it, right? Like with my generation, like a lot of the professionals of my generation, it's about luxury. So it's okay, we're gonna take about 10 trips a year, 10 international trips a year. We're gonna have the AMG, we're gonna have the luxury condo in downtown. What else? All of the luxury stuff that we're going out to the most expensive restaurants. But guess what? I also have $250,000 in student loans that I'm deferring. I don't have no savings. I don't have no investments in stocks. I don't have no real estate investments. All my money is going to doodads and luxury lifestyle.
In other words, your money is you're supposed to enjoy. They call it enjoying your money, right? So if you because my ex used to be like this, right? You better come get this before I spend it all, okay? Because she's gonna spend it all on something, okay? Because it's burning a hole in her pocket. If I don't spend it, something's gonna happen. So it's called fear. Go ahead.
Real life situation. I remember one time I was giving a girlfriend an allowance. She was like, "Why do you give it to me? Why do you give it to me once a month? Why don't you just give it to me every week so I don't spend all of it?"
Exactly. I don't have any control over it. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, Mick Drama Bear. He's right. He said exactly what I was saying. Like, and I've been saying this for a minute. Like, whatever, like $20 could change your life. If you hit on the right stock, you may hit on the right investment. $20 can change your life. Not overnight, but like over time. Like, you don't always need that 6-pack of beer or that dime bag of weed or something like that. You don't always need that. But also what I want to say is, like, I understand if you have a family to take care of, and you live in check to check because, like, maybe you're like the sole breadwinner or anything like that, and you can't downsize because then, I mean, you're already at your max downsizing to where everybody is comfortable in the house. I get that, but a lot of this going on is people that are people that are single and they feel like they're killing it to the moon and back.
We got a lot of single people, and we got a lot of dinks. They call them dinks.
Dual income, no kids.
It's not just women. It's
It's a
lot of guys. Like I have friends that are professionals. Make six figures. They rather do what do you call it? Sports gambling.
I mean, that's fine. If it's managed, most gamblers manage their shit.
Yeah, I mean, look, all of it is fine. For me, as long as you're taking care of the other things that we're talking about, at this, retirement accounts, 401k.
Yeah.
IRA. I mean, I started my first IRA at 17. I had to beg and plead my parents to give me a bank account as a teenager. And it was intentional, man. It was intentional. I wanted to learn about this stuff and implement it. Since I was a teenager.
Your parents, but that's a damn shame that you gotta beg them in order to.
It's cultural stuff that's been passed down that we cannot get rid of, right? And I shit you not, there's tons of people I talk to that culturally, the way they were brought up, I said, you don't have to buy this shit, man. Why don't you put some money away for emergency? You make more than enough money. Put some. You don't have to spend every dime every month. Come on, man.
Yeah,
And they don't listen. But I can't help it. I have to spend it.
On the
They was talking about this in what's the Miseducation of Negro? Talking about the same stuff back then.
How do you change people's culture like that? It's very difficult.
On a personal note, I used to before I even got my first bank account, like I would get money from my father's side of the family, and I would put it under my mattress.
Oh, yeah, bad
right
news.
smack dab in the middle of my mattress, and wouldn't you know it, the day that I was, like ready to, because I wound up opening a bank account and I was ready.
Your family took it, yeah.
Yeah, envelope. The envelope was empty.
My mother, when I first got my first job, my mother used to didn't have a bank account, and my mother used to come and raid my money drawer when she needed money without asking.
Damn.
I come in. One time I used to catch the bus to work. Right. One time she took so much money I didn't have money to catch the bus anymore. Okay, I was broke.
Damn.
That's wild. Those stuff. I mean, we have so many stories we can tell.
Y'all shout out to my grandmother, man. Shout out to my grandmother. Gave her brother $1,000 in bonds. When I was a baby, and I don't know what the buy-in cost, but once it matured, once I made like 18, it was $1,000. So shout out to her.
Yeah, because of my family. Man. I'm probably like Jesse. I have stick money like 6 or 7 different places. And I never tell even with the stuff I make on YouTube. My folks believe this YouTube thing don't make any kind of money, right? Because I don't tell them.
And let them keep believing it, BJ. Let them keep believing.
You're doing this stuff. You're doing this stuff for nothing. Okay, so as far as they're concerned, I'm broke. I'm flat broke. Okay.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's
go
ahead.
To Joy Reid and her dangerous and pathetic coverage that serves absolutely no one. As Marjorie Taylor Greene put it, it turns out that racism, lies, and Trump derangement syndrome is not going to cut through in 2025. But some in Hollywood are still desperate to keep the disgusting attacks up. GOP strategist Brent Buchanan joined Power Hour for his reaction to Tom Hanks' recent skit. Hollywood celebrities still don't seem to get the MAGA movement at all. Here is Tom Hanks appearing on SNL, acting to be a racist Trump supporter while wearing a MAGA hat and refusing to shake someone's hand. Just take a look.
Now, speaking of church, can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome at Black Jeopardy anytime.
Terrible acting, a terrible joke. When...
Was that supposed to be funny?
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
I don't watch SNL anymore, so
I guess you have to know what the joke is to get the joke.
To the writers of SNL, that's funny to them.
And I heard Trump is a germaphobe, so he doesn't like to shake hands if he can possibly help it.
Yeah, because they were talking about how he did an interview somewhere for Fox, and they laid a towel down before he sat down, and they were trying to say that's because he's incontinent and wears a diaper. And I'm like, why would he do that? Because the diaper would absorb it, you morons. But as somebody said, well, Trump is a germaphobe.
He's a germaphobe, yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, they were trying to clown this brother. I don't know him. Phil Heath. Y'all know Phil Heath?
Who was that?
What about him?
He's supposed to be like a black bodybuilder or something like that.
Okay.
But he was at the White House for Black History, and he had went into kind of, how us brothers, we adapt, and it's kind of like a hug and dap at the same time.
Yeah.
Put your hand over the pressure. Trump kind of got back a little bit.
Yeah.
And they was trying to say, like, oh, get this Negro getting too comfortable, stuff like that.
No.
Not realizing that he's a germaphobe.
He's a germaphobe. Yeah. Musk said that he had to get used to that with Trump. He's a germaphobe. So.
My goodness. All right, let's see. I want to get more into the Joy Reid situation. It doesn't look like they're really going to get into that. So let's jump into the Scott Jennings so we can introduce him to those of you who are not familiar with him. Let's see.
Hey, listen, I'm not good at coming here and faking it, pretending like no, we got whooped. We got whooped, and we didn't understand that we ran a campaign that would have been great in 1996. We had TV ads and door knocking, and these guys built an online infrastructure with the Joe Rogans and everything else. If we thought Rush Limbaugh gave us trouble in the 90s, or Fox News gave us trouble in the early 2000s, they built 2,000 Fox Newses and 2,000 Rush Limbaughs all throughout the internet, and we didn't even know they were doing it. And we got egg on our face, and we got a big job to look at ourselves in the mirror and figure out how we got beat this bad.
Scott, what if you were put another hat on for a second? If you were going to talk to Democrats from your perspective and go easy, but what would you pick out and advise them? Where did it go wrong?
Well, I think the Democratic Party, in the eyes of a lot of working class voters and the eyes of a lot of men who overwhelmingly turned out for Trump in this election, kind of view the Democratic Party as a professional fainting society. You know, I mean, we're offended by everything. We don't, have our eye on the real ball here, which is people being crushed in the economy, or we don't have our eye on the border. We don't have our eye on the world chaos. What we have our eye on is running around, scolding everyone and being offended by everyone. I mean, that's no way to run a political party and then be surprised when average, everyday working people turn out against you. So if I were the Democrats, I mean, it's a time for soul searching. I feel for Brother Van a little because, the Republicans have been there too. But the reality is you just have to ask yourself a couple of questions. Who are we, and who do we stand for? What do we represent? What are our actual values? And I think if they asked themselves those questions and answered them honestly, they'd find out that the only people they really stand for are very wealthy people who were not as crushed by inflation, people who have college degrees, who live in and around college campuses and in urban areas. That's it. That's pretty much what the Democratic Party has been reduced to.
What do you say, Van?
It's not true. Hey, listen, I think the Republicans have done a brilliant job of framing us that way, and I think we've helped them a lot, because a lot of the stuff that we say does fall into the pity party, crybaby society stuff. I think that's right. But the tragedy to me is that what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris actually did, and what they're promising to do, really was responding to working class needs. A lot of stuff in the Inflation Reduction Act was really trying to help ordinary people. They ran on a campaign to try to get $6,000 to everybody who's having a new baby, $25,000 to people who want to have a house, to help small businesses. There was an agenda there, but we did not do a good job of talking about it. The crybabies took up all the airspace, and then they built a machine. Don't forget, the Republicans built a machine online to magnify our mistakes and to mask their failures. And what we did was run a bunch of crappy ads that everybody hated and spent $1 billion doing it. So there is a core there that is good, but we dropped the ball in the parking lot. We thought we were on the football field. We weren't even on the football field. We were in the parking lot. And we got to look in the mirror.
Put your high heels on.
One of the
They didn't build it. It was already there. They just took advantage of it.
I want to get where he was going at it with the host on with Abby Phillips and them.
Mm-hmm.
Because good Lord, I mean, he was like destroying them. This is soft Scott Jennings. As honest as he is, should we go? No, I don't want to scrape somebody else's video. Let's see here.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, you don't have it doesn't matter because you don't have super chat. So
I know, but I still don't understand why they killed my my other video. Well, killed my BTS channel. They talking about some fraud, and I'm like, what the heck are y'all talking about? What fraud? Like, I don't post anything on it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, here's a good one. This is a good one. Where the black chick went nuts.
Yeah.
A cabinet that
they don't ding
perhaps
you for
more
this
Fox
because this is
hosts
news.
than
Right.
people
You know what makes them
people of
qualify?
color.
Yes. No, don't do it. Let her finish.
And I would just ask Scott, if race is not the issue, then why is DEI mentioned every
5
single
seconds.
day as a solution to every single problem that faces this
Because of how pervasive it is,
Is that- but do you
and
think
how
it's
hateful
really
it is to an actual conservative ideological view.
But do you think it is true that all of America's ills?
Why did they ask a
plane
question and keep
crash
talking?
to whatever it is?
That's the
wildfires
issue. Scott said that. He said every time I come up here, the one person gets 2 to 5 minutes to talk to me, but I get 20 seconds to respond.
5 seconds. That happens to me all the time too. So
yeah, let's go.
To DEI for real?
I think that if you believe in the fundamental principle of America, which is that we guarantee everybody an equal chance, not an equal outcome, but an equal chance, then trying to go around that principle, conservatives don't believe in it. And most people who believe in America don't believe in it, number one. Number two, the concept of not hiring the best person for the job in government or anywhere else has been repeatedly rejected by the American people, the Supreme Court, and everything else. And so
What do you get? So I guess what I'm saying is, like, if that is the case, then people are questioning the actual qualifications of many people Donald Trump hired for jobs.
Yeah.
So do you think that he actually?
Why?
Because Elon Musk doesn't even go here.
Do you think that he?
That's why.
This is the question people are asking.
Let me stop right there. Y'all familiar with Carrie Champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all familiar with Carrie Champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know this chick don't have a job, right?
Yeah.
Carrie Champion, and she sent Charles and Lewis them on a tizzy because she said to Scott Jennings, this is when they were talking about Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
And this chick said that she said, well, I've gotten into a few hair pulling fights in high school, so I'm qualified to talk about military combat.
Okay.
Just like Pete Hegseth is.
Okay.
And I mean, those of y'all who are familiar with Charles and
yeah, we know who he is. Yeah.
They wanted to strangle that chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is
stupid,
go
dumb
ahead.
chick shit. Yeah, but go ahead.
Right. This is who they're on the panel with. But I want you to pay attention to her body language, and you'll kind of and what she says, and you'll see why she's jobless. Let's continue.
This is the question that Ryan Clark just asked. Did Donald Trump, for Health and Human Services, find the person with the best expertise to address
this is not a
when it comes to the Department of Defense? Did he find the person with the best expertise to address those issues, or did he just find people who he liked?
Political appointees have one qualification. They serve at the pleasure of the president because the president believes that person's going to best carry out their agenda. That is the only qualification.
And to protect and defend the Constitution.
And that is the only the only qualification for a political appointee.
Doesn't matter.
Of course they're
Say it.
of course he believes they're competent. If he didn't believe they were competent, he wouldn't appoint them.
I hate when black women do that shit.
She asked you a very simple question.
Do what? What'd she do?
I mean, they start cackling when right in the middle of you saying something. They should all start cackling at the same time.
Oh yeah. Thanks, AB, by the way, for promoting the channel. I appreciate it. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry, I'm multitasking.
Say it.
Of course he believes they're competent. If he didn't believe they were competent, he wouldn't appoint them.
I'm not being fair with that. You're not being fair with that response. She asked you a very simple question, yes or no. Look at the appointees. Do you believe DEI had anything to do with those appointees? Do you believe they were qualified? Do you think they would protect and defend the Constitution that represents all of the people of the United States of America?
I think Mark Rubio. I think you all have literally no idea how the government works, is what I
do.
I
do. I serve at a higher level than anybody here.
A couple people at this table have served in the government.
Yeah, me too.
including for this former president.
I just want to say that I think the premise that DEI exists and therefore the people that got the opportunity, perhaps because of DEI, are not qualified is a flawed premise.
Correct.
And I think that is what is so frustrating about the argument around DEI. We know in this country historically, and even today, there are still injustices in this country based on race, based on gender, based on ideology.
Based on who your daddy played
golf with. Yes.
Okay, that
so
happens every single day. We know
But it happens every single day all over the planet.
That's
the
what I'm
planet
saying.
Earth. It is
And
human
so,
nature. It is human in every single, and we're the best at it. We're the best at trying to
Donald
include
Trump's our
people.
president.
Arthur, I guess that's exactly my point. I agree with you. I think that it is true that there have been preferences not for merit since the dawn of time. And that in this country right now, the same people who are going after DEI, which is about giving opportunities to people who have been historically marginalized, are just as willing to hire their friends.
Is that what equity means? Giving opportunity or guaranteeing outcomes?
It's giving access.
Because that's what equity means. It's a difference. There's a difference between equality.
There's a difference. It is. Yeah.
I just want to answer.
A huge difference.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of DEI is not to give people who are qualified the job.
Yeah.
Especially marginalized people, because the records have shown that white women and their rainbow counterparts are the ones who benefited the most.
Yes.
Black women got the crumbs.
Yep.
So
That's
what
why
are y'all
they-
And they're still fighting for it.
Because they're paid to fight for it. I was trying to say that to black women. I was trying to tell that to the black one on the other panel, right? Why are black women actually standing up for it when it doesn't benefit them? Instead of white carry the white woman's water. Let them fight for it.
Mm-hmm. Because I want that pat on the head from Miss Ann.
And they've been told their whole lives this is their fight. So they literally are brainwashed to believe this is their fight. So it is what it is.
Morans.
And hard work.
Scott,
give you
I think this
access?
is incredibly important for you to understand and for everybody to understand at home, okay? This is where I think we go crossways on this issue. You just asked the question, what does equity mean? Does it mean equality or does it mean access to opportunities? And conservatives want to define it a particular way, but you have to acknowledge, I'm asking you to acknowledge that people who believe in DEI do not define it that way. They do not define it as equality.
I think they define it as trying to guarantee outcomes, and I think they define it as trying to punish people they don't like.
Scott, that's
politically, wrong race.
Stop.
Speaking for more of the middle.
I hate when they do that.
She asked him a question, he went to answer it, and of course Kerry Champion and the black chick sitting next to him.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, they're doing the Wonder Woman.
And the thing is, if you do the same thing to them, let me talk. Don't interrupt me. Let me finish my thought. That's why I hate that shit. Well, go ahead.
Hold on, I gotta get this out.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
Oh,
no one cares.
And nobody was saying nothing.
Yeah. No, they ignored her. That's the problem. Acknowledge me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ignore me. That was the villain on the Venture Brothers. Ignore me.
Ignore man. Yep.
The country who's not hyper-partisan on this issue. I think that people generally think diversity is a virtue. It makes businesses better. It makes institutions better. But they also don't like when you have companies or organizations that are spending huge amounts of money to stand up DEI office. As an example, Fairfax County Public Schools, $400,000 spent on a DEI office, but kids are not reading at the levels that they should. They're not advancing at the levels that they should. It's not the issue.
Were they doing that before the office was stood up?
Well, no, and probably not. And so I'm not saying the connection.
So maybe implementing DEI.
But let her finish it. Let her finish.
How much of our resources are we actually putting?
But that's not not the way the conversation is being posed in America today. The conversation about DEI and woke and all of that sounds about marginalized Black and brown people who already are threatened seem to be threatened in this community, in this society, and they're not getting the same opportunities. It was the same thing with affirmative action. Went to UCLA. they got rid of affirmative action. Everyone said you got in because of affirmative action. When I graduated, affirmative action didn't take my test. Affirmative action didn't help me get to where I'm at today. It gave me access that I didn't have based on the opportunity that I lacked because of the circumstances I was born into, which had nothing to do with me, but the country in which we live in. And so the reality is—
Have you seen the test scores of UCLA Medical, by the way?
My point being, Scott, is that everyone doesn't have—
Oh! That, ladies and gentlemen, that is Scott Jennings.
Yeah.
He is the darling of Abby Phillips' show. If it wasn't for him, nobody would watch her show.
Yeah.
And speaking of people watching their show, because you do understand that Carrie Champion was indeed an affirmative action admission.
Yeah.
Okay. And like you see, they keep saying the Carrie Champion show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you Carrie Champion show for the record.
My name is Ashlyn Harris.
Quick question. You see Carrie Champion, she's a beautiful woman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All sexy, all that. If she posted a thirst trap on YouTube,
okay,
how many views would you expect it to get?
100K.
No, 100K? How many comments?
Maybe 10K.
What you guys agree with BGS on that? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the most part.
What she get?
But then you also got to realize too where Carrie Champion comes from. She started out on ESPN. What the fuck is she doing transitioning into politics?
Because she got,
that is not her strong suit.
Because she got no place else to go. But
hello, say it again, black man. Say it again.
She got no place else to go. She's a journalist. She's not really a athlete. She's a journalist, so they can go between whatever. That's the way they're trained. But the thing is, how old is Carrie? She's about 40, in her 40s.
Yeah, she's in her 40s now.
Trying to thirst trap in your 40s is not the business. But go ahead.
Don't talk about Tia Mallory like that. Oh, let me shut up.
Oh gosh.
Where is that video? Oh, don't tell me she took it down. Don't tell me she took it down. I was just looking at it the other day. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Am I going oldest? Let's go oldest. Okay. Let's go oldest. Shorts and oldest. Okay. She posted a bikini video. Okay, here. Okay, so here's one.
Okay.
400 views.
Okay.
4 comments. 54 thumbs up.
This is Carrie Champion we looking at?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, she with her new titties, huh?
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yes, and she put, let's see, comments.
Yes, talking about she ordered some new titties.
Wow, there we go.
You can see them. She's showing them off her new titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the bikini video that I saw. But I mean, you see the thirst trap is getting no play.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where is it? Am I on the right channel?
I don't know why they did. I don't know what she did instead of transitioning her audience from what she was doing, because she knows all the athletes. She can just interview them. Yeah, you have all these connections.
She's not intelligent, but then again, you see, she interviewed
be.
like Grant Hill.
Yeah.
541 views 2 years ago. Craig Melvin, 281 views 2 years ago. She's not a draw. She's not a draw.
Basically, how come she doesn't, have LeBron James come in? You just set up a studio, have LeBron James come in, or whatever. She knows all these people.
What is her name again?
Carrie
Champion. Yeah.
Man, where is that video? She might have a secondary channel. But I remember I saw that video. I was like, wow, like this was pathetic.
I mean, how come she doesn't go on Shay Shay's stream and make the rounds and then set up her channel?
That's a good question. Because she stopped doing videos with her and who is this? Jamel Hill.
Yeah.
They used to have a channel. They used to do the channel together.
Yeah.
And then, boom, it was like they were done.
Because they talk feminist shit instead of catering to their audience. Women are not going to tune in for sports talk.
I think this might be it. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is it. Here it is. Okay, so 3.6 views, 3,000 views, 21 comments.
Okay.
You know, she kicking the legs up, leg all spread. You know, got the boobies popping.
Yeah, but
was the last time. She's in this video.
But if she was in her 20s, it would pop. She's in her 40s. Nobody cares.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was in here somewhere, but she gets like no traction.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Tia Mallory video. That's
basically.
It's just not attractive.
I don't know what she's trying to do. She's not. I mean, it's not that hard, man. Basically, if a nobody can come online and get traction, she can do it. She's not working at it because they actually don't respect the medium. That's what's happening. That's the problem. You know, they trying to make what they did in mainstream media and apply it to social media. It doesn't work. Okay, you gotta come at it fresh.
Yeah, she only has 4,000 subscribers, so yeah.
Because she's not working at it. There's no way should have 4,000 subscribers. Doesn't make sense.
You're on national TV, yeah.
And you have a name, right? If Pearl can have 2 million subscribers, she can do the same thing. She's not working at it.
Look, got her legs all shiny and out. Yeah. But look at the views. 1.1K, 3.2K. When did this come out? Let's see. Based on throwback June. Okay, based on comments 2 years ago. Yeah. The oldest comment is 2 years ago. And this is the best you can do, and you're supposed to be a beautiful woman who's making money off of your sexuality. You know,
would hire a fashion consultant and do it right. Do it right. Okay, if Angel Reese can do it, you can do it. Okay, how come Angel Reese can do it with looking like a giraffe and you can't do it? You gotta do it right.
Yeah.
Stop being lazy.
I had to laugh when, like, I posted Joy Reid being fired, right? On my TikTok, and I had some woman say, she was like, oh, "That's fine. She can go and get paid doing something else." And I'm like what? Because a lot of these people who make a name for themselves on TV, when they jump into these platforms right here, where they're not being propped up by a network, they crash out.
They do. Because what's his name had to make that turn? That came from CNN. What's the little guy's name? Had to make that turn.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
Don Lemon.
No, not Don Lemon. No, what's his name? The short guy. Not short guy, but what's his name?
Stephen A.
No. Hillary Clinton's boy. What's his name?
What are you talking about? Rolly?
Rolly, yeah. Rolly had to make that turn. He had to make, because he crashed out his first year or two. He had to figure out how to do it better. So now he's okay. You know.
I think half his subscribers are bots, but man, I could be wrong.
No, I mean, the thing is they subscribe, but they don't watch. It's the problem. How do you get them to watch?
You know what? Roland Martin, now that you mentioned Roland Martin, let me tell you something. We was on here. Roland Martin went live.
Okay.
This is before they killed the Villainous News channel. Okay. And we went over there. We went over there, and his comment, you see how the comment section going here, right? We just got 79 viewers. Right. Comment section popping. He had like supposedly 3,000 viewers. Nobody was saying anything.
Okay.
Not a word. And I really do think that Roland Martin, when he took that money from Kamala Harris, he started paying YouTube. I think he paid YouTube for as far as their bot system.
Okay.
I think he went into their bot system and also their advertising system, because when I was typing stuff up, stories and everything, if he covered them, it was like nothing but him leading the top of the pages.
Okay.
So he made good use of that $300,000, but I don't think it was really beneficial for him because nobody's listening to Roland.
I mean, on this platform you have to interact, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you have to interact with your subs. So the
Right.
thing is, if you have a couple AMA a week, okay, somebody like Roland Martin probably would pop. But the thing is, they don't want to take the downside of doing that, because there's a downside, okay? Trolls and all the other kind of stuff that comes along with it.
Yeah.
But they don't want to take that risk.
Well, you also kind of keep in mind, babe, most of Roland Martin's audience is old. No offense to BTS.
Yeah.
They're in BTS's age right now.
Why are you coming in like that?
I mean, you could actually go live on Facebook where our old folks actually are, and interact with these people. But they don't want to do that because they want to hide behind the teleprompter instead of going live and talking to people.
Yeah.
You know what? Just a quick little off center. This is a damn good series right here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's a good little teen romance comedy on Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon Prime. It's pretty good, but you have to subscribe to Crunchyroll to get it. But it's pretty good.
Okay.
So Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, we'll be going to the supermarket mood tomorrow.
Jasmine Crockett.
Bless her heart.
He just insulted her in a Christian fashion. That's all. He's
okay.
Yep.
Actually had the nerve to say $5,000 is we don't need $5,000 as the American public, and that the government is not in the business of giving out money. Let me show the video. I want to be. I don't want to say it. I actually want to show it. I want to show my work. Come on. I know I have so many of these videos buried in here. Matter of fact, let's see here.
Probably can search for it since it just happened.
Yeah. What am I doing? Let's see. Jasmine Crockett. She put her foot in her mouth
and put 5,000 and probably pop right up.
There it is. Yeah. Never mind that this chick got thousands of dollars in her bank. Millions of dollars in her bank account.
Somebody got to get it.
Jesus Christ, because I don't want to rip off anybody else's video, but you know what?
Don't worry about it, man. Just
screw it.
Fair
screw
use.
it. I'm trying to be safe.
It's fair use. Okay.
There we go. All right.
Day. Most people don't really care.
Fair use.
Yeah, fair use. The real gospel chops. Y'all subscribe to him.
Oh yeah. I like that brother.
All right, let me get in here. All right, give him a sub. If I'm telling y'all to do it, I need to do it too. All right, let's go.
Based on what DOGE is finding, do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's a great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, we'd give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it'd give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
Trump also speaking on the wasteful spending and alleged widespread fraud DOGE has found. Listen to this.
We're also finding tremendous abuse, waste, and fraud in Social Security. Social Security is what's happening there is going to be one of the great potential scandals in history.
True.
On the program, there are over 4.7 million Social Security numbers from people from 100 years old to 109. Think of that. Now, over 100, there aren't a lot of people that make it. Hopefully, most of the people in this room will make it.
In an exclusive interview with Sean Hannity, Elon Musk explaining the importance of his cost-cutting actions at DOGE.
I really want to emphasize to people that this is a very important point. If we don't solve the deficit, there won't be money for medical care. There won't be money for Social Security. We either solve the deficit or all we'll be doing is paying debt. It's got to be solved, or there's no medical care, there's no Social Security, there's no nothing. It's got to be solved. It's not optional. America will go bankrupt if this is not done. That's why I'm here.
It's important for people to understand he's doing a big job. He's doing a very thankless job. It's really a thankless job, but he's helping us to save our country. Our country was in serious trouble, and I had to get the best guy.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, we are living in the age of DOGE. We are in the midst of the golden age of America, as President 47 tends to put it. And it presents a lifetime, dare I say. I ain't never seen somebody come out here in the Congress and talk like this. If you want to be off in the hood, then you go off in the hood and you talk your talk. But if you are going to be in Congress, I need you to do a whole code switch. Understand who you are among. Understand who you are elected to be and go be that. Don't be one of those stories where they say, oh, you can take the girl out the hood, but can't take the hood out the girl. No, you are an elected official in the United States Congress.
Doesn't matter.
I need you to be better than this.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Yo, you're looking at some people who are so beholden to that Democrat plantation that when stimulus is given.
Yeah. Stimulus is given by them, they praise it. Yeah.
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt. Good day.
Sorry, I just uploaded that. I had to use it for Jasmine. But you're talking about somebody that, of course, you're newly elected. You haven't even been in there that long. You make less than $200,000 a year, and yet you have tens of millions of dollars in your bank account. You have 3 properties that are over $1 million in value. How did that happen, Jasmine?
She got some Stacey Abrams money.
Yeah. How did that happen, I think, is this it? Let me see.
If you were trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he's...
Black women talk too freaking much, man. They tell on themselves.
Oh, that's an understatement.
You say
arrogance.
Yeah, arrogance. It's time for them to be.
And
It's time for her to be quiet.
To your
intelligent.
voters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they going in on her on Twitter. Black men and black women are going in on Twitter for saying that we don't need $5,000. They going in.
Yeah.
And TikTok.
You was happy. You was happy about 1,000, 1,200. So could you imagine 5 times that?
I mean, the thing is, she better hope that her hands are clean.
Well, we know they're not.
Because she just put a target on her back.
Yep.
Yeah, just like Ilhan Omar. You know, ever since it was funny. This was last week. A reporter asked Trump about Ilhan Omar. The rumors of her marrying her brother. To create immigration fraud or whatnot. And Trump was like, "No, I didn't know that, but we're going to look into that."
Yep.
The next day, they're talking about deporting her, about revoking her citizenship and deporting her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say she was on the list of people when they show her net worth versus her yearly salary.
Mm-hmm. The chick out in Massachusetts, the black chick with the big gazoombas or whatnot. She was a foreign national or whatnot. She was in their Senate or whatnot. She was banging the gavel, talking all of that, racism stuff. Yeah, the FBI walked her out 6 o'clock in the morning in handcuffs.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was doing kickbacks. She was hiring family members and taking kickbacks. This chick was so stupid. She hired her brother and her sister or whatnot, and they were in the bathroom of the Capitol building exchanging money, envelopes of money, the kickbacks.
Okay. It's what happens when all of a sudden they turn on the lights, right? Cockroaches have to scatter.
What did they say about karma? Okay, whatever.
And you hear the white woman ain't saying shit. They hiding, okay? But black women are too dumb. Okay.
So can I share this Twitter post?
Yes, please.
Let me see. Give me a few seconds to pull it
All
up.
right.
Yeah, but Jasmine Crockett, man, I can't believe she went on TV and said that on national TV. That's crazy, man.
Well, she was talking about the government workers.
Hey, you want to hear something scary? Now these knuckleheads are going around talking about Jasmine Crockett for 2028.
Go ahead. Oh, please do.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I was like, okay.
Give that man a clear path. And speaking of which, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about black men who like to speak with their mama's mouth.
Okay.
There's plenty of those, I can tell you.
So this is from DOGE News.
What does it say?
Congressman Jasmine Crockett has a reported net worth of $9 million.
Wow.
Despite being paid $174,000 a year. Jasmine Crockett owns a $2 million townhouse in Dallas, a $1.5 million loft in Austin, Texas, and a $1.5 million lakefront cabin in Galveston, Texas. Crockett's net worth grew substantially last year during the 2024 election. Do you think members of Congress use their positions to self-enrich themselves?
Wait, so she was part of the crew where they said that they were dumping gold bars off of the Titanic. Remember that hidden video? So
no,
she
I
was
haven't
part
seen
of the
that.
crew. Oh yeah. Let me hold on. Let me pull it up because like I said, I like to show the evidence. Because I don't want some dusty Negro, the crew. I want
Hey, babe, blow me up just for a minute.
It truly feels like we're on the Titanic and we're throwing like gold bars off the top hatch. Where are the gold bars going to? Nonprofits, states, tribes. We gave them the money because it was harder. If it was a government-run program, they could take the money away. If Trump won, and because it was a insurance policy against Trump winning. Until the Trump people come in and tell us we can no longer give up money. I do environmental climate policy things. Really? Yeah. It's amazing. That stuff is here? I mean, because I do like federal government climate things. Well, I have been doing that. That might change, but why? So look at the EPA. So a lot is amazing. So I do, the Inflation Reduction Act. Have you heard of it? Yes. Okay, Biden's climate law. Yes. Yeah. So I do entire implementation. I work with like Biden appointees. Money that we've given out like tens of billions of dollars. Like last year, we've given out probably like $60 billion. $50 million. Billion with B. $50 billion. Yes, for climate things. So like to go work for one of these places, I think would be really fun. What are the places that you've given them to? It's only been a few weeks, so it's a little early. But like green banks, so they're like nonprofit institutions that are like making it more financially feasible to build renewables, to do like climate projects. I do implementation now, so I do like how do you spend $100 billion? How do you make sure that like they're the proper? Well, until recently, how do you make sure the proper like processes are in place to like prevent fraud and prevent abuse and like ensure that like we are funding like good paying jobs and that sort of stuff. Now it's just how to get the money out as fast as possible before they come in and like. Really? Yeah. You can do that?
To an extent, just like within reason.
Yeah, good. Yeah, why not? Because if it's not gonna, basically that's where it all is now. I mean, now it all is like, it truly feels like we're on the Titanic and we're throwing like gold bars off the top hatch. Does it really? It gotta feel weird. It's weird. I mean, it's not good vibes. It's not good. I mean, everyone's very sad. Where are the gold bars going to? Nonprofits, states, tribes, cities. Anything like in the news that I would know of? Not yet. Like any organizations, like well, they're all local. A lot of them are small, not like local nonprofits. So it's like a big thing that most of the stuff we funded, but the thing that we haven't funded yet are like the local nonprofit program that like was going to be like a winter Kamala Harris administration program. So now we're just like getting it as quick as possible. Right. Yeah, the tune of $50 billion. No, it's like $2 billion at this point. But yeah, we've got most of it, like 90% is out. Like, wow. Yeah. And what happens if they try to stop it? They can? When they come in, if you haven't gotten out the door, then they can stop it. Yeah, like 2 months. If they don't get it out by a certain date, what's that date? It's the inauguration, the 20th. It's renewed on the 20th of January. Yeah, you can write down in a minute. It's probably like a little afternoon, but yeah, it's basically new. Yeah. Hey, throw a couple billion here or there. It's until the Trump people come in and tell us we can no longer give up money. Wow. So that's at the very earliest, it's noon on the 20th. It's probably a little bit after because they have to get in the building and tell people what to do. Will they come in and stop? Yeah, like I think they will. I think they will come in and they will issue an order that like all grants have to stop. EPA can't give any money out. So we reevaluate anything, and then they'll say we're reevaluating it, and then Congress will say we're stopping this entirely, and they'll pass a law that says all this money doesn't exist anymore that you wanted to give out. No, I think we gave them the money because it was harder. If it was a government-run program, they could take the money away. If Trump won, and because it was a external policy against Trump winning. So like these are basically like nonprofit institutions that will cover the entire country. They could have been a government agency, but because they aren't, they're safer from Republican systems than USA. You guys are like saving the world, literally. I don't know if we are, but like, we're throwing gold bars up at Titanic. Yeah. You do what? We're throwing gold bars up at Titanic. That's all we can say. I don't know if we're saving it, but we're getting the money out.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Very interesting stuff.
Because they knew he was running an audit. They knew he was going to run an audit. And this fool didn't even know he was on it. Because the beauty of today's technology is that he didn't even know he was on hidden camera.
Yeah.
He just was
cameras are so small.
Was the journalist acting as like a love interest to get the get the details?
Twitter.
Who knows? But he was definitely getting the details. Normally,
he sounded a little giddy and drunk.
Yeah, you put a few drinks in some people, or maybe offer them or give them the idea that they can get their penis wet. Woo, they get loose.
He was like a motor mouth, man. He was breaking down the whole operation. So what we do is we send it to states, tribes, nonprofits.
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, that was some good stuff right there. Damn.
That's why I like to show the evidence. I like to quote unquote show my work. Can't say, oh, boy, you were lying. Well, here it is. Right, BTS? Don't we like to show our work?
Yep.
Yeah, show your work. So that way the and the ashy, dusty crowd that, you know, they want to speak with their mama's mouth because they got their ghetto mama's mentality. Like, well, then show me your work. Show me your work. Show your evidence.
They never do.
Because Abby Phillips is their source. Joy Reid is their source.
Yeah, well, that's how come they don't like DOGE, because the stuff is there. And he found it. I mean, them hackers find shit, okay?
Right, Go ahead.
Yeah, hackers are very good at getting around blockades and blocks and finding shit. So
they're talking about those guys who work for Elon. Oh, well, these are little kids and everything. You know, the same kids that were kids younger than that. You were trying to say that they could change their sexuality and get sex changes and everything, you know. But here you have, I mean, we're talking about the super genius nerds that you see in movies, not on some weird science stuff, but they make weird science and the Big Bang Theory dudes look retarded.
Yeah. These kids are cracking governmental databases at 12. So yeah.
Exactly.
And they know it.
And they know exactly where all of that kickback money, whose accounts it went to, and everything. That's why we're trying to stop DOGE, and this is why they were trying to stop Kash Patel's nomination. Now, for me, I say that Kash Patel was the final piece of the puzzle because he's going to get his FBI team together. A lot of those FBI agents are going to be fired, but he's going to get his team together, and they're going to go on a nationwide.
Well, basically,
I don't want to say manhunt, but
it's a jihad. Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna go out. They're gonna be digging in everybody's files. You're gonna see a lot of Democrats either doing perp walks or retiring, leaving the country, calling up Russell Simmons to see if he got any room in his hotel. Who's his real estate agent? Yeah. You might even see some self deletions.
They'll, a lot of them will do their last term and quietly not run again.
Shoot, you know what? Wait until the Epstein list comes out.
I don't know if they're gonna release that one. That's might be a
there's some high profile people on that Epstein.
Yes, and internationally, the Epstein list may not get released.
And
we'll see what happens. We'll see who they put out there.
You said the files were on her desk this week, so they're reviewing.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if they release it.
Shoot, the Diddy tapes.
I want to see, because that was one of the things that the opposition to the Trump administration said. Oh, he's getting together a task force. He's not going to release it. They're just going to study it for another 4 years.
Why do Democrats insist on poking the bear? That's the dumbest shit. Okay. I mean, no guy has a good reason to actually go on a jihad or revenge against you people, and you actually want to poke the bear. It makes no sense to me.
They keep doing it, and I'm like,
he keeps as soon as they do, guess what? He keeps pulling shit up. Okay.
The worst thing you ever could have done was try to kill him.
Well, the worst thing you've done was miss.
Yeah. Go for the king. You bet not miss.
Yeah. Come at the king. Best not miss, and they missed.
Yeah, you missed. Now he's about to tear down everything that you hold dear.
Ask Golden State when they played Cleveland.
Oh, when they were up 3-1.
Yeah, up 3-1, and they came at the king. And guess what?
They missed.
You missed. You missed. But damn, what is this kid's name? What's the kid's name? The kid.
Am I green?
Huh?
Come on, green.
The kid that was next to LeBron.
Oh, what's his name?
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Irving didn't miss that 3-point shot that put him up by 5. Yeah, he didn't miss.
Steph Curry can't guard nobody.
He didn't miss. That was the dagger. No, but All right, fellas, it's 3 hours. I normally like to do 2 for my personal show.
All right,
but I like to extend it longer when I have the thing. Again, tomorrow 9:00 we'll have another group chat. You know, BGS, AV Media, Red Pill. Hopefully, Red Pill Sleeper Cell. Hopefully, we can get Charles to join us on time. International J, you know you're always welcome. I don't know why. Do you have a channel, International J?
Yes, but I haven't done content in a few years.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you know, yeah, we're all going to be talking about these ashy blokes.
That's a hell of a comment. They should have never gave us Ashley Bloke's YouTube.
Yeah, that's funny. When I had Rihanna do that years ago.
You ain't lying, boy.
I miss her, but she's doing well.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow night, and we're gonna really talk about the effects of welfare and the Democratic Party and having a prostitute mentality mother. The effects that it has had on Black men, to where we are, as a collective, pretty much destroyed. We're in all honesty, we're cucks, but
yeah, the whole system designed us to be that way, and we follow the role, and Black women are very comfortable keeping us that way. And that's the problem. Because Monahan tried to change that shit, and because he actually listened to Clark, they tried to change it, but the Black women and white women weren't having it. So we are where we are, and it's still going, because they tried to do that with Kamala Harris in the election. The same shit. Try to run the same thing.
Those are your final thoughts tonight?
That's it.
Okay. What about you, International J? Any final thoughts?
Nope.
All right. What about you, AB? I didn't know you had a birthday. Happy belated.
Oh yeah, that's back in January.
Oh. The hell with you. You got any final thoughts, bro?
The Ice Cubic effect is here, and Joy Reid just FA'd and FO'd.
Yeah.
And we have to see what else pops out during the year. We got to see else who else gets exposed, and some of these I call them they call themselves vote blue, no matter who. I call them butthurt blue. A lot of these butthurt blues are getting exposed and still running their mouths. I'm at the point. I'm like, okay, yeah, y'all say what you're gonna say. Don't get mad if you get exposed.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm out.
All right. Y'all be good. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Peace.
He must have given up, thrown in the towel, abandoned his sad little masquerade. I finally got to him. The power of the press triumphs.